it foggy outside. All the planes have been grounded. Ain't the fire inside? Let's all go stand around it. Funny, I've been there, and you've been here. We ain't had no time to drink that beer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sandman podcast. I am your host, Brian W. Tosh, joined as always by our resident hack checker, Oliver Fullington.
Yo.
Our producer and co-host, El Hilo del Hack, Tyler Fullington. And the man whose stories got stories, the hardcore icon. He's got 99 problems, but bananas ain't one. The Sandman. Hack, how the hell's it going today?
Dude, my boys from Florida won the Little League World Series. I love the one kid. The pudgy kid, like, bats fourth. He does all this...
Taraj.
He does the
like
Michael
Taraj
Jackson
something.
shit. He'll hit a double and then do like a Michael Jackson move, get on his toes.
Well, that's
So-
why
Are you
like
mistaking Florida for Venezuela that you called last week that no one's beating? That didn't even make the final?
No, I'm not mistaking at all. It's just like I'm wrong about 90% of the shit I say.
Okay.
I was just making sure
All right,
you're
yeah,
calling
man.
them your boys, so I didn't know.
Yeah.
No, that kid's my boy.
Oh, okay.
I don't care like which team, you know what I mean, but I just like that kid because he stood out amongst every other player and I spent some time watching the Little League World Series this year. Probably more hours than I've ever spent like in the last like 20 or 30 years. You know what I mean? But that kid, like, he just showed something.
Okay, you were dialed into the Little League World Series. I love it. Were you watching down in Memphis? You were in Memphis this weekend.
Yeah, no, I was monitoring the championship game on my phone.
You were watching the live score of the Little League World Series in the back of a Memphis wrestling locker room. That's what I'm picturing right now.
Yeah, I had to.
Did you have money on it?
No.
No money. Just
No,
for the
'cause
love
I
of
don't
the
think I
game.
could bet in Memphis.
You weren't. They don't have legal sports betting in
I
You
Memphis?
can't
Or-
bet
or
on the Little
Tennessee?
League World Series.
Well, no,
anyway.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you can't.
Nah, I
Are
think
you
there
sure?
are some
I'm
apps you
pretty
can.
sure they had some lines last
Yeah.
I think I bet them last week.
You can
when I was
bet
here.
on 12-year-olds playing baseball? Yeah, you
man.
can pretty much bet on anything.
Except pro wrestling.
Well, we should be able to bet on that. I think we would. Well, I don't know. Heck, you might not be doing too well after your predictions anyway. If you go,
Dude, I'm horrible.
Yeah, it's
I'm not a booker.
probably better off that you can't.
I told you I'm not a booker.
how was Memphis though? Everything was cool.
Oh, dude, the guys down there were so great. It's called Memphis Wrestling. And,
Really?
and Tommy...
What a dick.
Well, no, like, usually people got, like, call letters and stuff like that, you know what I mean? That's
that
the
was
only
just a
reason
promotion?
why I re-Memphis it. Is Hack just came over and like, bam, I'm on a roll already, people. The only reason I re-Memphis it was because it was just Memphis Wrestling.
Okay.
And it reminded me of being back in my first days in the USWA, the Lawlers thing.
Yeah.
And we were in a little TV studio my very first day. It totally reminded me of that. And if you guys YouTube it or whatever, Memphis Wrestling, you'll see how it's pretty much just exactly like the way it used to be back in the day. Like, even when you watched TBS, like, their TV studio only had like 100 people in it. You know what I mean? It was real close quarters. It was real intimate. But this crowd was a little bit bigger, like 200, 250, and it was an ECW crowd. If they had two heels wrestling against each other, when either one did a spot, they still said, "We hate your ass, we hate your guts." Total ECW crowd. It was a great weekend.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Studio wrestling is certainly
And
something.
you can't find that anywhere.
Right.
I go, you know how often I'm around the freaking world. And that place had the most Dude, a match started. By the end of that match, it was less than 60 seconds. Another match started. You know what I mean? It was like boom, boom, boom. It was like a professional setup down there. And you don't see that too often. Now it's like you go there, there's the first match, then there's 4 minutes in between that and the next match. You know what I mean? But
It had a good flow on the card.
yeah.
Oh, so shouts out to whoever's promoting Memphis Wrestling together. That's awesome.
And the guys, I'm so bad with names, but he works for the Memphis Grizzlies.
Oh, okay. And he works for Memphis Wrestling as well. That's pretty cool. Oh, that's awesome. Did you get
Oh
to
yeah,
see-
way to put it over.
Well, no, that is. It's cool. What are you saying? I'm not burying the guy. It's cool.
No, he's like the sideline guy. They're like,
The sideline reporter.
Okay.
yeah, for the Grizzlies.
That's cool. Did you see any like names from the past? Anybody in Memphis still like hanging around there for the show, or?
Nah,
I didn't know if there was anybody that you
it's been a
recognize.
long time, dude.
Yeah, no, I didn't know.
It's been a long, long time. Hey, we just lost another one.
Yeah.
Sid, rest in peace, Sid.
Rest in
you
peace.
were a beast.
Rest in peace, Sid Vicious, man. Just an absolute legend of the business, and that's a great transition there, Hack, by you, because that's where he got his start in the business, was down in Memphis.
Jerry Lawler told him everything he knew.
And Continental.
Which
and,
I don't know how much you remembered, but
Sid was just, man, like, to me as a kid growing up watching wrestling, I know we've talked about it before on the show, but that's one of the guys that just always conveyed an aura and a presence.
believable.
With him. Yeah, just, I mean, look,
True, totally
like,
believable.
if you took Sid from any time period in the 90s and put him in today, he's main event anywhere. Like, he just had a presence.
Well, he's like the dude. Who's the dude that's with Chris Jericho right
Big
now?
Bill, I just made a tweet about that the other day,
Yeah,
actually.
dude, he's just like that. You know what I mean? I'm like, Big Bill, get away from Chris. Go work for WWE, dude.
Well, he was there originally, if you remember.
Yeah, he should go back there.
Well,
I don't know if he's got that. I don't know if that's his choice.
I mean, he could just look. I think he has big potential, and he was very over this weekend.
He's got huge potential.
He was super over in the where were they? Cardiff,
Yeah.
and Wales doing
Oh, yeah.
like their Collision, Rampage, Dynamite,
super
and he's
over.
like flipping off the crowd, and they're still like loving him, cheering him.
They were loving
Yeah, they wouldn't
everything
let
he
him-
did in the pay-per-view that they loved. Now imagine him being in who's this? What's the Steiner kid's name that's getting
Braun
pushed?
Breaker.
Imagine him being in Breaker's spot, being that much bigger than Breaker, a foot taller, 50, 60 pounds heavier. You know what I mean? You could put him right in that spot.
But he's nowhere close.
I think he's a lot. I think he's
nowhere close to what?
Braun Breaker.
I think he's a
What?
Well, heck, I think he's
What?
also. I think he's also
Now
older.
hold the fuck on. I want to hear how Ty says that dude ain't close to. What is Braun Breaker that good?
No, that's my point.
So he's the Big Bill's that bad?
Yes.
No, I disagree.
He doesn't have the footwork, but dude, what does Braun Breaker have to do right now? But go in there and bust people up and do job matches.
Yeah, no, they got to do something else with him. I get what you're saying there.
No, and he's better. He just hasn't seen him before. What the kid can do.
I like Big Bill. I think
I've watched the kid way longer than you have. When he was with Enzo, you probably didn't even know he was with Enzo.
Oh my God, that was my favorite duo.
Yeah, exactly.
I swear I love Enzo and Bill.
Dude, do you remember anything of their run in NXT at all, Hack?
no.
Yeah,
No,
no,
it's
yeah.
not the point. One's a foot taller and 50, 70 pounds bigger. That's the
doesn't make
point.
him a better worker.
Heck, it's not the 1970s. That doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter.
I know what you're saying, Hack. He does have some kind of intangible thing.
Nobody
You can't
cares
teach
about
height,
that.
But at the same time, like I always go back to, look at who our most popular boxers and MMA stars all. They're smaller guys. You know what I mean? It's not the heavyweights that are the draws these days in those real sports, and that's kind of the same in wrestling to an extent too.
Okay.
I do think you have to
get
have
that
size.
when you're smaller and you can work your ass off.
Right?
That kid cannot work his ass off.
No, not yet.
That's my point.
I
Right.
never said he could.
I know, but that's my whole point. If you're going to put that kid in that spot, being that small with guys that can totally outwork him, anybody that he's in the ring with, why not give it to Bill? Why
True.
not put a monster in that spot?
Because he's that bad.
True. Let's get back on track here, though, because I want to ask you about Sid. Did you ever have any interactions with Sid in the business?
Yeah. Literally, my very first, besides meeting Bruno Sammartino, as soon as I got out of the car down in Philadelphia, the first indie show that I ever went to, literally from that day, that was like first week of March, and then like I think Pumpkin's birthday is the day that I gave Joel like $3,500 to do the school. So from then until then I had my first match like June 9th, and then Goodhart got me and JT Smith hired to go work in Baltimore, Maryland for WCW because they were having a show, and they used to have like their opening matches for local guys. So I got hired for that. So me and JT Smith go into the ring. Dude, it's like 100 degrees outside. It's a black mat. You couldn't even lay on it. It was that hot. So we do the match, and as soon as they get back in the locker room, Sid comes up to me and goes, "Was the mat real hot?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, you don't want to lay on it." That's it. That was my, yeah.
Nothing in WCW in '99 when you guys were there at the same time, or yeah, Sid had a cup of coffee in ECW in '98. He just kind of came out and squash guys and fuck people up, which was pretty cool. But he never really had like an extended run in ECW. But Sid was just he was always somebody who dictated things on his own terms.
Well, because you can,
right?
And that's why you can tell Vince, screw you for a pay-per-view and go play softball.
Yeah.
That's the big thing that I love about him the most.
Yeah,
that guy could break my leg in the ring and I'd still love him just because he's like, nah, I go to the pay-per-view. I'm going to play softball.
Turning down huge paydays. That. Yeah, no showing shows, but
for softball.
For softball, and somebody who main evented 2 WrestleManias. He main evented WrestleMania against Hogan in '92, WrestleMania 8, and WrestleMania 13 against The Undertaker as well. Man, I mean, he had just an incredible career. World champion in both WWF and WCW. And
what a worker he was.
He wasn't a great worker, but
hey, he was as good as Bill.
He was an aura guy, like I said. Like, you know what I mean? Like he had the presence and the power like behind him, and you believed him when he walked out to the ring. And
his sincerity, like he was like so like how you cannot get a headache after like the
you
way
believed he was a real psycho.
Yeah, he really did, and that I'll never forget Survivor Series '96. Him and Michaels and Sid was supposed to be the heel, and the crowd in Madison Square Garden turned on Shawn and was rooting for Sid. Sid's just an absolute legend in the business. Rest in peace. I hope you're playing softball up in the sky, Sid, and powerbombing.
Dude, I hope I'm coaching first base for you soon.
All right,
well, not real soon.
Soon? What the heck, man? Morbid.
Someday I meant.
Okay, someday you meant is much better than soon. We watched AEW All In, and this was from Wembley Stadium. It was the second year in a row that they went to Wembley Stadium, and look, they presented a super card in Wembley, and just loved the atmosphere and the aesthetics of the show. I thought it was a big time super card feel to it, and I thought it was overall a really, really good show. They drew about 54,000 is what I was seeing around on WrestleTix. Certainly a big drop off from the year before from what they drew. They drew in the, I believe it was like the mid 80s. So pretty significant downturn in terms of the attendance. But you wouldn't know it from the fans in the arena. Obviously the crowd was really into the show all night. The show,
like, wow, wow, what a great crowd.
Super, super into it. And I did see one tweet on Twitter that I thought was a pretty interesting thing. It's in WWE's business in the mid 90s, early 90s, when the business was down here in the States a little bit, they started to rely more on drawing and going to Europe and different parts in the world to draw. And you can kind of see it with some of the things that AEW has set up for the next year, where they're going to Australia, they're going back to London for Forbidden Door, they're doing Japan. So, business right now in the U.S. is a little cold for them, so they're going overseas a little bit to do some of their big shows, which, by the crowd reaction-wise, I think it's a good idea.
Well, why not?
Yeah. I mean, and especially with, like, the crowd reactions that you see the WWE even gets.
Oh, yeah.
Like, overseas, so it's like, why not take it over there and see if we can't get the same reaction.
Right.
Well, that, and I feel that, I mean, there's a lot of workers AEW has, like, especially
European
with
dudes,
European guys, influx of talent, like that even like will just show up for a week, or just not even like mainstay roster guys. That the Forbidden Door pay-per-view is like super smart. You doing Wembley, it just makes sense. So they have a lot of that, overseas flavor, and why not, take advantage of it.
Yeah, why not? I mean, if business is cold here in the States a little bit.
And it's different. They're different overseas. It's different than Vince's overseas. Yes, Vince will go to Europe, but Vince big overseas is Saudi Arabia.
Oh, that's the.
You know what I'm saying?
Is,
that's the golden child.
that is bigger than any WrestleMania. We've
All
gone over
of it
those
together.
numbers. It's a giant money that they get from them, and
Well,
you know,
that and WWE overseas is, dude, half the stadium's probably kids.
definitely a lot. This seemed like it was an older crowd.
For WWE, I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like AEW, like you don't see many like kids
None.
in their crowd. Yeah, you
Yeah,
know,
you
it's
see
just a
some.
totally different.
Yeah, they're
you know,
like babysitter for the kids. Wrong with that? You know, literally, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's weird, but
Yeah.
but Ty's totally right, and maybe that just goes to show you that in the state of wrestling right now, to me, it's like, how come AEW can't do the skits backstage and stuff that Vince does?
I don't think they want to do that.
right.
I know, but the kids are the business. The kids are the business.
I know,
dude.
but
Why wouldn't you want
but
that?
AEW is the alternative. They don't want to be WWE.
right? And Ollie, to your point, I think some of the times
I don't think they know how to beat WWE.
Well, no one does. And again, getting into the AEW WWE comparison thing is always just like a non-starter for me because they're night and day. It's different businesses, but
Yeah,
it's-
completely.
Yeah, it's just let's judge it on its own kind of
Let's
thing.
just be happy there's both out there.
yeah, let's be happy. There's places for the
I
boys
like
and
that
girls
they're
to
not
go.
the same.
Yeah, so do I. It's different.
So yeah,
No, I don't, because I'm so disinterested. Here, when we get into some of these matches, I'll tell you how disinterested I am.
Well, I love the show.
It makes no sense. Some of
Here we
this
go.
shit.
First up on the show was the AEW Trios Championship London Ladder match. This was between Blackpool Combat Club, Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, and Pac, taking on the Patriarchy, Christian Cage, Killswitch, Nick Wayne, House of Black, Brody King, Buddy Matthews, Malachi Black, and the Bang Bang Gang,
Blah, 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 blah.
Colton Gunn, Juice Robinson, and
Still
Austin
blah,
Gunn.
blah.
It's a big match there. You got 12 guys and a bunch of ladders. I don't know. This one, look, again, I've said this before talking about ladder matches. I think it's one of the most overdone gimmicks in the business. I think we probably see one about a month, whether it's between one of the companies. I think we get too many of them. But one thing I really liked about this is they did the entrances on the pre-show, so the match just got out right
I said
away.
the same thing.
Oh, is that why? Because I got it on DVR and I was looking at it and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, the
how much of this did I miss?
No, they were doing that. They with like about 10 minutes before the start of the main is when they started the entrances for the first match, which that
And then
was on
we're
the
doing
pre-show.
packages and shit during it.
Well, no,
was
they were
pretty
doing
much
the
just straight
entrances.
entrances.
Yeah, they were doing the entrances starting like 10 minutes or whatever, and I thought that was smart because if you're like on the fence about buying it, you see the entrances on the pre-show. If you're watching the pre-show, maybe that gets you to buy it. Even though I think if you're watching the pre-show, you're probably buying the pay-per-view
Right.
anyway. But it was something different than
It's a good last second sell. I thought, too.
right, yeah, right.
No, but that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. Even though I think if you're watching the pre-show, you're probably
You're probably
getting the
buying it.
pay-per-view anyway. But if you are on,
Yeah, like who were the
undecided,
first people out? Are they going to make you? Who was the first people out? Are they going to make you buy it?
Right.
right? I mean, or it could be like, yeah, ladder match, and you see 12.
Well,
dudes,
maybe
12
in
dudes
England
coming out,
because
like-
the bald guy. Who's the big bald guy?
Claudio.
He's from
He's from
huge
Switzerland.
pops. You know what I mean?
Switzerland, yeah.
So I would send him out first just
And
to
Pop.
try and get
I
more.
believe they did come out first.
You know
I
what I'm
think.
saying?
No,
to get
it was
more
not. It
European
was,
people.
House of Black.
was first. Okay.
House
Dude,
of Black
their,
comes out
their
first.
outfits were cool. As
They were.
shit.
They
always look so good.
super
They do.
cool. Yeah, that was cool.
So the match started. Christian immediately ran away straight plus. That was pretty funny. And then everybody was just trying to do some climbs at first. Did you guys notice that the ladders looked a little small?
Dude, Castiglione was. I saw him when he came to the ring. I saw him walking by the ladder. I'm like, dude, he's taller than that ladder.
Yeah, the ladders were a little tiny. I don't know.
Okay, hold on. So there's a reason for that.
I think they're putting smaller ones out there, so when you bring a bigger one out, it means more.
And they're easier for them to manipulate for spots. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I don't understand how you can't just grab a ladder and in like 2 seconds, like have it under your arm and going. People are like fumbling with them and stuff like that everywhere. So the smaller the ladder, I think, is easier for them to do in certain spots.
Okay.
But I didn't like it when they would grab. All right, oh my God, I'm ready to kill myself. If you go up a ladder 2 steps and start reaching for the belts, I'm ready to freaking shoot you. Like, are you kidding me? You're
Right.
2 feet off the ground and you're reaching.
And
Right.
you just gave somebody like a big spot, and then you reach, and then you start selling.
Yeah.
Like trying to reach.
Oh, it's so horrible, that shit.
I did like how everybody was just like trying to climb it real quick at the start, and they were all
That's
trying
how
to
it's
win.
supposed to be.
Right. And then they did a big dive spot. Pac hit an amazing twisting moonsault off the post, which was a really cool spot. And then everybody was laying out, and then Christian ran back down just to climb up. And then he was kind of beaten down a little bit. I know that...
All right, first of all, how many guys are in the match?
12.
And how come the only time we only see like 2 or 3 guys in the ring? Dude, there were so many guys that were on the floor for like 5 minutes doing nothing.
That's what it always is.
Yeah.
Doing nothing, and that pisses me off, dude.
Right.
You have to. I don't care if you got to have somebody that like, especially. I don't know, dude. It's just the timing, and it's horrible.
Yeah, to
It's
me-
horrible. You can't have somebody that you don't see. You see him in the first 30 seconds, but then you don't see him until the 6-minute mark.
Right. I get what you're saying. It's a little different if it's like a 5-man match and you powder out for like a minute or 2 or 3. But when you have 12 guys out there and you haven't been seen for a long period of time, it can be a little
Well,
much.
they would do that big spot, and 5 guys or 6 guys would catch 1 guy, and then every single one of those 5 guys would sell for another 3 minutes.
Right. That's not a
That
3-minute
was like
sell.
their psychology of it. Oh, well, we'll do a big dive on you guys, and that'll keep you selling.
Yeah. Then out came Nick Wayne's mom. She tried to climb the ladder, and then the ass boy stopped her.
That was funny.
That
was funny.
But I was waiting for her to catch a spot at some point. in the
So-
story.
Dude,
that,
me
dude?
and Ty were sitting here like jumping off the couch, begging for Juice the power bomber
Right.
to the table.
Yeah. Or you were
then he took
our
the
mom. Yeah, or
I
giving
know.
our mom the
Oh,
pile
man.
driver through or
Right.
something, and I was like, please, please,
I was
please.
watching with my buddy Freeze. I was like, hey,
Oh, the
better.
place would have came unglued.
I know they have. I know.
It came unglued.
They missed the moment right
Yeah,
there.
to me, it's like when you're doing some of these big shows, it's like you gotta say, like, I think what they should do is lay out and say, like, what's the biggest pop we can make?
Yeah.
And that spot with
And they
her.
had them. Like, dude, that place was about to. I mean, they were erupting.
Yeah.
Like,
They were, like, to me, you should have
But
done it.
sometimes when you're putting the like shit together, and there's a lot of stuff going on here. You know what I mean? So it's easy for one little like piece to get lost. Like I told you, like last week, I hated the finish to where I turned around and somebody hit me or whatever. You know what I mean? There's so many spots in that match.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes shit gets lost, and
Right.
sometimes obvious shit, and you're like, oh my god. Once you're doing a spot, and then you hear the reaction, like, how the hell did I miss that?
Yeah.
Like
and
literally,
it's
you're in
strange
the ring
because it's
thinking
her.
that.
It's basically her like only spot. So basically, you would think that that would be.
I just think it's some money left on the table
Sometimes
there. You know what I mean?
I know, but think about all the talent that's out there and nobody got it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Sometimes stuff gets lost.
I do say...
Some of the best
And
spots that I
especially
never
her,
did.
like her husband, like being the wife of like a husband like that, and being around the business for so long.
I think
like,
she'd be down to do it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm a little disappointed she didn't like, or maybe she did bring it up and push for it, and they maybe said no. But if I was her, I would have been like, "Yo, you're putting me through the table."
yeah.
Well, Juice took a hell of a bump through that table. He took it long ways. That was
Yeah,
a
it
hell
was
of a
like
bump.
a dead fish,
Yeah.
like kind of bump, like on the thing. Dude, how about those tables? They were like cardboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were
That was
weird.
Like, weird.
Well, yeah, they were okay. Now here's the difference here. Like there's tables made of like fiberboard. Like the ones that we use in the United States are totally different than the ones in Europe and the ones in Japan. The ones that we use are made of like this
Japan's like
are made of sawdust mixed with glue, compressed, and then we have that little metal ring around the bottom to help support it because it's so weak. You know what I mean? They don't do that there. Those tables look like they were made of balsa wood.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
It was
Like,
like
you know
table
when
break.
karate guys like break, like when they
Yes.
get 3 of them in a row?
Yes.
That's what they look like. They were made of.
And they broke exactly
Oh,
like
well,
that.
and Japan, forget it.
Yeah.
You ain't breaking them tables unless you give them.
No, those are cinder block tables.
Dude, I had to hacksaw one to
Yeah,
go
unless
through
you take
one.
a chop saw to it.
Yeah.
I did it.
I do also have to put over Juice Robinson pulled out like a really huge ladder, and then he did the spot where he fell off the ropes. And he did with crotch.
Oh, that
Yeah,
crotch
spot was
Yeah.
I thought he
awesome.
was going outside the ring.
So did I at first, but he took the crotch shot with it.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that was great spot.
That
Yeah,
was
that
a
was
great
from
spot.
high up too. Yeah, he did it.
He wore that good.
He did.
I know, because a lot of
He did.
people like hit the rope and kind of fall with it, or like he
Juice-
committed.
Juice to me, man. I love
And
his
they could have had a
facials.
better camera angle because the camera angle
it
was
was-
from wide.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they had something closer up, it would have even been better.
That and the Nick Wayne when he jumped
dive
through, when he
through-
dived through the ropes
dive
and
through with the
I forget
destroyer,
the name
the
of that.
Canadian destroyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the table. That was a they hit that
That was
flawlessly,
really
too.
really
Yeah,
good.
but that guy you just mentioned, didn't they? He totally missed the table, or he landed on the table outside.
He
and
went
didn't
for
break.
a cutter on the outside.
But
and
it
he
was a
actually
nice,
took
a
it.
nice thought.
Yes, he
Yeah.
wanted to put the guy through the table, and he took most of the bump
Yeah,
himself.
it was a nice thought. Yeah.
He's super talented. He's only 19 years old.
Yeah, he's
And-
19.
What?
Yeah,
Yes.
he just
Yeah, he's
graduated
only
high
19.
school.
Yes.
It's Buddy
Yes.
Wayne's kid.
Buddy Wayne, Pacific Northwest wrestler, trainer, and that's his son.
What is that right?
Yes.
The kid's 19.
19.
Dude,
Yeah.
he's been wrestling since like on the indies since like 60. I
Yes.
mean, maybe even younger, but
Yeah.
I mean, I think he had a match with Ospreay at like 17.
Yeah, sky's the limit for him. But he's working with Christian now doing this storyline. What did you guys think of the finish itself? Because I kind of thought the patriarchy retaining made sense, but then Pac got a huge pop for the belts there. I guess it was a Wembley feel good moment for the crowd. I mean,
I
they're-
think
but they're kind of a makeshift team though. It's like
Yeah,
you're
but
not,
they-
It was who won,
But
not, you know what I
Pac.
mean?
It was for Pac,
Yeah.
giving him the.
But they've been kind of working together for a little while now, even
Yeah.
though Pac's like not part of that group. But Claudio needed a belt, and Pac needed a belt.
Yeah.
For
And then
like,
with Moxley being gone and Danielson now your champion, you need somebody to step in there with you to
Fine,
and
but
Claudio, I guess.
then have them join the stable officially or something, But to me, it's kind of like
Maybe it will be now that they're champions.
I'll tell you what, too. I'm glad you guys said Mox because, I know they haven't spoken about it or anything. I have no idea what's going on, and Mox is missed. Mox is a big star that they did not have on the show. I don't know if he's taking time off. I don't know what's going on, but certainly was missed on the
probably
show.
because wasn't he supposed to take time off and then he had to come back and
Correct,
get the belt
when Punk left and everything. So maybe it's we'll finally give them the vacation we promised you like 3 years ago. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean he put hard time in, so yeah.
I'll give this match about 3 stars though, because it did go a little long. Ollie
2.
2.
Yeah.
Ty.
There's just so many guys in the match. I
Yeah,
think
too
it could have
far.
been. I think it could have been better with maybe one less team.
It was never bad.
But even
though.
then, it's still so hard. It's just a lot.
Yeah. Ty.
Yeah, I would say 2.5, 3s, right around there. Yeah.
Okay. Hack.
Dude, I can't give it more than like a 2.5 just because of timing, not the greatest, and just setup. Just the whole setup of everything.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean? You just can't have that many guys outside on the floor.
Right. Too long for periods of time.
But
yeah.
I thought probably the
I
right.
mean, Brody was out. Was Brody in this match? Is
Yeah,
that
Brody
what-
King.
Yeah, dude. Oh, yeah, Brody, same thing. Outside for 5 minutes. Did you see him? That didn't even really have a reason to be out there for 5 minutes.
No.
And they're all laying down. You know what I'm saying? Get on the ring and
Brawl.
like act like you're like climbing up the ropes and then settle and then fall to the floor. Do something.
Do you think part of that is they have these spots set up like in a ring? They don't want to take your eyes away from what's going, like the other spot, like guys
Well,
brawling
okay.
outside. You know what I'm saying? Like doing
well,
other
there'll
shit.
be a perfect example later on with the Taz finish
All right,
that
okay.
we'll go over in something like that.
Okay.
Next up on the show was Toni Storm taking on Mariah May for Tony's AEW Women's World Title. I was kind of a little taken back that this was on second on the show, but you know what? I thought they just came out and absolutely delivered here. They did show Mina Shirakawa in the crowd. The place went pretty good, wild for her. This was
Who was sitting next to her? I recognized.
I don't know,
All right.
but yeah, they showed her in the crowd. Mariah they went to town with each other, which is I love the way they started the match. Like that's how you have to start that.
I love Mariah selling once she started bleeding, and it's like she's crying, and the fact that you can hear her doing it like when the crowd is really silent, like makes it that much better for me.
Yeah.
And I think she did a great job at that, and playing like heel on the match.
Oh, absolutely. I love that they show her mom in the front row, and then she goes over and she slaps her mom in the front row.
I don't understand that.
I kind of like it. It's like I'm such a heel. I don't even like my mom. I don't know. It was an interesting.
Well,
heel
that
look.
was their point. But wait, I'm going to talk about the blood. This is the first time ever I'm watching blood that's not coming out of somebody's mouth that I'm thinking was fake.
Really.
Dude, I spent 5 minutes on rolling back because when they had the camera behind her head and she's laying there, dude, I see there was some blood rolling down her face in like different colors. It was like lighter over here. I don't
Could
know.
have been could have been makeup.
That's
Maybe,
true, Ty.
but I don't know, dude. For some reason, I questioned the bus.
I noticed that it dried up quick, so whatever the gig wasn't like, deep. I noticed that the blood dried pretty quick. Like she wasn't like continuously bleeding.
Well,
like
and if
after
she
that,
gig, like a girl's smart. They're like, even though old timers used to do that, if you didn't want your head to be worried about
You do
guys
it on
who
the
gig
top,
up in
yeah.
their hairline. You know what I mean? I don't know, but it just for some reason I never questioned blood before, but I did on that match.
Interesting.
What else? The butler took a shitty bump on the outside.
yeah, he jumped into the guardrail.
At least he's smart enough to throw himself
It's
into it.
And then when he puts up the finger sign, he shouldn't have even seen the fuck you sign because he was down on the ground and didn't know the other girl gave her the finger sign. And then they used the finger sign again later on in another match that was the shits.
Yeah, but
He could have been watching the Tron.
No, but it doesn't necessarily have to. It doesn't have to be him seeing it for him to give her the finger.
I know, but
like,
for him to do something like that, it's, you know what I'm saying? He would have had to seen the fuck you to the fuck you to the.
That's true. So Mariah was bleeding a little bit. Then Tony kind of cut her off, hit her with some hip attacks. And then Tony was really fired up, did the hip attack, pile driver, and then Mariah kicked out of that. They traded a bunch of strikes.
Well, yeah, they did something good where they did something, and then they did a double headbutt.
They did the double
down
cooter
head,
kick.
Is that what it was? Oh, yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. Yeah.
Okay.
That whole sequence was
That
awesome.
was great.
Yeah.
That and the double headbutt and the double down was awesome.
Luther then stopped Mariah from grabbing the belt. That's when he flipped her off, Hack. And then Mariah goes and gets the shoe, but Tony grabs it. And this is kind of the part of the finish I
Hated
didn't really
this.
like.
Hated it.
I'm with you, Hack. So Tony couldn't bring herself to use the shoe on her. And then Mariah ends up hitting a bunch of running knees, and then the Storm Zero for the
Which
pin.
was good.
The knees and
The finish was good.
That, but again, part of my issue sometimes, and I've said this before, is some of the layout of the stuff. If you're doing the storyline where Ospreay's afraid to use that
was gonna say,
finisher
they're doing it too
on
much.
MJF, you can't do that same storyline in this match as well. Just my opinion. I think it's.
I agree 1,000%.
That's not the Cyrus gives him the screwdriver.
Right.
He's not doing the screwdriver.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like the hesitation.
Going to the well a little bit too often.
And I'm fine. I like
It works good with the girls. It didn't work good to me with the Cyrus thing.
Well, because you didn't
that
know
was-
about
yeah,
the
you didn't know
screwdriver.
it.
Yeah, exactly. But still, I didn't even like it after that.
And I get it. Tony.
I don't like the even possibility of doing that.
The story is Tony loves her, right? Tony's crushed by her turning on her, and she can't do it. But then, Mariah ends up getting the victory, taking the belt, and now this is going to lead to Tony. I cannot wait to see some of the vignettes and some of the, Tony as she lost her title, lost her friend.
I saw a
and
little
everything.
clip of her. It
Leaving
wasn't
the
like
arena?
anything. Yeah, she
Oh, it
just
was
walked
amazing.
right out and started walking the streets of
Yeah.
London.
Wait.
Like after
Oh,
her
no,
match.
I didn't see that
And
part.
I gotta send it to
Luther
you.
was like chasing after her.
Yes.
But very good point here. Even though it is London, it was kind of a Sandman finish, as in she could lose, but the whole place was chanting Tony Storm.
Oh, she got a huge
Tony
reaction
Storm.
at the end.
Tony
Mariah
Storm.
patted
And then
out,
she
leaves.
was smart. She didn't fucking stay in there and absorb it too long. She fucking felt it a little bit and then like rolled off.
And then she's walking back up the aisle doing the.
Yes.
Oh, she started
Yeah.
looking bad too. She
Yeah,
started
like
flailing
doing
her
her,
arms.
like still like flailing her arms.
She's so awesome
She's
as
tremendous.
as a character actor.
Yeah, I
I
don't
know.
know.
I never want to see the character end. I know it's got to end at some
No, it
point.
doesn't.
But
No,
It
but it's
doesn't.
just gotta evolve. Like
It's
you gotta just
timeless.
keep thinking of
Timeless,
It's
yeah.
timeless. Yeah.
Well, really, if you think
I
about
know,
it.
and the thing it's in 1924.
Yeah, Wembley.
Oh, no, that was cool too.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to do 1924 and then they were going to change the numbers to 2024.
Oh, that would've been cool, too.
And like change the picture a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I thought they were going. But see now that it's like there's so many factions in wrestling right now in both companies. It's ridiculous. There's like this four guy team, this 3 guy and a girl team,
So
this
much talent,
4 girl
dude.
team. You know, there's so many factions, but you can get Tony to be Queen Elizabeth and have a great faction.
Oh, absolutely. You
Give
can
her
do
some beef eaters. So people don't know what a beef. Do you know what a beef eater is, Ollie?
It's a,
Do you know?
it's a
Please
gin.
explain.
A beer?
Do you know what a beef
It's
eater
a
is?
gin.
Oh my God, you guys don't
Well,
know.
I mean,
a beef
just
eater
like
is
a-
the dude that stands at Buckingham Palace and has that 2 foot of tall furry hat on his head and
Okay.
never moves whatsoever.
Oh yeah, I thought you were talking about like a wrestler.
No,
like
she could have some beef eater dudes like beer fucking security and shit. Bring in William Regal and some other European guys. She could have a great faction.
Oh, I'm sure she could, but I want to see more of like the movie stuff because, man, look,
That's her doing the movie stuff.
yeah, I don't think anybody in wrestling understands their character as much as Tony understands her character right now. Like, I think she's that good, and the match itself,
She's one of the
No,
most
she
entertaining
gets-
things
yeah,
she
across
does.
She
all
is-
wrestling.
yeah,
She is it.
Yes.
Dude, she's the Corella DeVille. She's the Phil of when you're watching Modern Family. You know what I mean? She's the mother of the Goldbergs. There's certain great characters on television, and she's absolutely one of them.
yeah. The match itself, you know, I think I'll probably give it about 3.5 stars. I thought it was really good. Didn't get to that great level, but I really enjoyed everything they did. Pretty much, that'd be my rating for it. Ollie, what do you give it?
3.
Ty?
5.
5. I love it. Give it
I
five
was
spots.
I was super invested the entire
So was
time.
I. It's just
thought
I
they
the
did
finish kind of again with the shoe.
I'm at a 3 just because of like the reason you said. I thought it could have went up
I think
another level.
They have a better match in their pocket.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay,
But
here's the thing.
no, they have
Go
more
ahead.
work in their pocket. But as far as the match and the story, I thought it was done perfectly. Wasn't too much, wasn't too long. They did what they had to do. The story was all right there, and I just thought they nailed it.
Yeah, Ty's got a great point, and to me it was
Ty's
like
making me bump up to a 4.
they left
thinking about it.
they left something on the table for the future. It wasn't a high spot match.
No, you didn't need
You
to.
know what I mean? There wasn't like spot. It was this.
No, but you can go too long.
Well, absolutely.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, it lose the people. Like, for me, like, it was perfectly flowed.
It was 15 minutes, the match, which it didn't feel like 15.
Hack, what do you give it as a star?
I gotta give it a 4.25.
4.25,
I thought
okay.
it was done well.
Yeah.
I really thought it was done. Even though I thought Tony was still going to win, but I thought it was done really well.
Okay. Next up on the show was Jericho taking on Hook for the FTW title. Fozzy played Jericho out to the ring, which I don't know if anybody really wanted. That was, it was,
Pretty sure nobody asked for that. But,
nobody asked for that one. I don't know. So then this kind of was like a handicap match for the most part, like a hardcore match too.
It was a handicap, but it wasn't a handicap.
Right.
Why weren't all 3 guys beating the shit out of him the whole match?
Yeah.
Hook should have lost in a minute.
Right.
Literally.
Yeah.
They came in, and there was those 3 on that dude, and
I was
and
waiting.
waiting for somebody to come out and help
waiting
Hook.
for
or-
Joe.
Dude, the whole time I'm thinking, who the freak is
Joe.
running in here?
Joe. I was waiting for Joe.
So,
Oh, okay, Joe would have been
Samoa
great.
Joe, yeah, because he was like kind of
Yeah.
like part of that program
No, yeah.
a little bit, but he should have lost in a minute. It was 3-on-1.
Yeah.
He should have lost in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? They were doing that stuff, and Hook was kind of fighting them off. He was suplexing Jericho. Jericho I did like this spot. Jericho seems to have, like, when he comes up with these hardcore matches, depending on where they are, like they were in Canada, he brought out the hockey pucks for the one match that he had. He brings out the cricket balls and the cricket stick, which I like.
Dangerous.
Dangerous?
Dude, those
I can
balls.
imagine.
What are you
Bumping on
kidding me? You land. You supposed to, in one of those spots. You take a bump in that ball. You land and your head's on. Your head never hits as a professional wrestler. You tuck your chin. Your head never hits the mat. If your head hits the mat, then it was a super huge bump, or you just screwed up. That you could land on one of those balls very wrong. Easily.
Yeah, and when they did some spots on them,
They didn't seem to care where the heck they even were.
I don't even think they hit on them.
They got lucky.
And then Hook tries to hit him with one.
I was just
and
gonna
he
say.
whiffed on it like 3 times, and then he tries throwing them at Jericho.
Well, dude, and there's fans behind. Yeah,
Dude, he's hitting it with a cricket freaking mallet.
yeah.
And I heard a big sound on the one. The very first one made a huge sound. And then I'm like, what is this kid doing? Is he that stupid?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is he that stupid hitting a cricket ball into the audience? Well, let alone hitting Jericho in the forehead with it in the middle of
And
the
then he starts throwing them.
Well, yeah, but he was kind of. It seemed like his throw can't be as bad as Oliver's was like 5 years ago. Oliver could not throw softball. Ty.
He was a college.
factual.
He was a college lacrosse player, so I know he's an athlete.
Right. Well, I'm just saying, dude, from that distance, you're throwing. Not to mention, one hit goes into the crowd. Whatever.
First of all, I've been in at least 20 fights where I've used pole balls on the offensive and swung them at people and never lost a fight ever. Dude, I just never lost a fight, dude. But pole balls are your greatest freaking weapon in a bar fight.
the billiards brawler.
They're better than a pool stick, dude. They are.
Okay, take that.
You need room to
dude,
swing a
yeah,
pole
imagine
stick.
getting
Pole
hit by-
balls, you start firing shit at people, they start ducking.
Screw a loaded boot, man. Just hit him with a billiards ball.
yeah, right?
No, well, cricket balls aren't as heavy as a pool ball, for one. You know what I mean? They're a little bit light. They're probably maybe like a third of the weight. You know what I mean? So, but still, it was all dangerous.
I like the T-bone suplex.
But I like it that he's using it because of where he
It's
is.
cool. Right, that's what I'm saying. It's cool to incorporate it. I also like the T-bone suplex with the what do you call it? The cricket bat. I guess. That was cool. how they used
that was nice. And Hook rips off his patch and says, "I can see."
Yeah.
Oh
Like,
my
dude,
God! All right,
You
dude,
still
that's
couldn't. You
another
still
thing.
couldn't see. You had a patch on. So what's the point of having the patch and ripping it off and saying, "I can see"? When no, you
were
can't.
so-
You gotta.
You were so tough that you were fighting him with one eye. I
Yeah,
guess
like,
I don't know. I don't know.
Dude, that was totally ridiculous. I was going through ways in my head. I'm like, okay, so wait a minute. Did they do an angle where he got?
Jericho threw a fireball
at him.
Oh, okay.
Weeks
I didn't
ago.
even see that.
Yeah. That's why he had the bandage.
That's why he had the patch.
It makes no
I
sense.
just thought the fact that he pulls it off and says, "I can see."
All right, first of all, you have to understand something. Being a professional wrestler, your biggest thing is depth perception. When you close one eye, that screws up your depth perception more than anything. It's like when you're drunk or when you're high. When you're high, it's left to right. When you're drunk, it's forward to backwards. That's just how your perception is.
Then it looks-
just from me being in rehab. That's how I know this shit. You know, so... Dude, it's hard to fight. You don't know if you're going to potato a guy. If you got one eye closed, this, 2 feet is like 1 feet 9 inches. You know what I'm saying? When you're doing everything.
It looks like Hook clearly wrestles every week with an eye patch on the way he works.
Well, no, you got to keep your eyes. You got to keep your one eye open and your head on a swivel.
So the finish of the match, they
And
pulled
it's
out,
wrestling. You know where the next spot's coming from.
they pulled out a table and some barbed wire board on there, and then Jericho, Big Bill came back in the match. He was up on the
There was no
apron.
barbs on the barbed wire. I stopped that one a couple times
There you go.
on the TV too.
What's his name?
Hack
Tried to
would
play
know.
it off and sell it like it
He
was.
did.
Like,
Oh, yes, he did.
He did try to
And
sell
then he
it.
turned it over.
Jericho accidentally knocked Bill and put him through the table. Then Hook got the
Horrible.
And Bill goes through the table with the barbed wire and doesn't sell his back at all. He just plays dead.
Yeah,
Why
yeah,
bring the
yeah.
barbed wire out?
He should have been rolling around in pain.
Or
So,
grabbing his back?
Yes.
What it, like,
Little things, boys. I love it how you all catch this stuff.
Then
Say thank you,
Bounty Hunter-
Sensei Hack.
Thank you, Sensei.
Okay.
Keith tried to interfere, and then Taz left the announce booth, pulled him down off the apron, got him to in a kata hajime for a big pop, and then Hook got Jericho in one as well and tapped out to Hook.
Okay, did you notice that they missed the finish? The camera was on fucking Taz giving him that. Next thing you know, they come over and the ref's going, match over.
Yeah,
Horrible.
it wasn't perfect, but
Horrible.
yeah. This match was just there for me. I would give it about like 2.5 stars. I don't think it was bad at all, but it was just kind of there. So
It's half a star for me.
You can't be a professional wrestler and do your finish when you know the camera is on your dad doing it on the outside.
Well, how does
That's a major faux pas.
well, that would be more about the flaw for the camera operators, people and the producers in the back, than it would be for the wrestler. Like,
Dude, I know, but you don't lock it on at the same exact time.
I get what you're
You know
saying.
what I'm saying? Have your dad do it. You screw around for a second.
Then you lock yours
do
in.
it. You know, you wait
Gotcha.
your 3-4.
Okay.
You 2-3-4 count.
Ty, what do you give it?
0.
Wow, Hack.
0.2.
Man, you guys buried this
No,
match.
dude, it made no
should have
sense.
lost
He should
in
have
the
lost
first minute.
Literally, 3-on-1. He should have lost immediately. It made no sense. It just made nothing on this card's making sense.
All right.
If you really think about it, no, dude, seriously.
Yeah, what am I with it?
Nothing's making sense here, right?
Mariah May
So
winning didn't
who
make
is in
sense to you?
charge?
Mariah May didn't make sense to you?
Is every single
You gave that
person
match
that
4
does a
1/4
match, are
stars.
they in charge of their own match? Is there like agents that say, hey, Vince, we're doing this, and this. Another agent saying, we're doing this, and this. Another agent saying, we're doing this, and Vince is saying, wait a minute. I just heard you guys doing the same 2 things, like this fuck you finger thing. You know what I mean? Who is in control of the locker room here?
I think there are a lot of overlaps, and I always bring them up
Who
when I see
is
them.
in control of this locker room?
Tony
It's
is.
horrible.
Tony Khan is.
But there is no control, is there?
I
Is the
think-
control? You're in the match and you do whatever you want. I don't care if it's pay-per-view, TV, whatever. We're not gonna inspect what you're gonna do before you go out there, just so our main event doesn't do the same finish that you do.
Okay, how about in WWE when they do the same spear through the barricade every
Yeah,
single
there's
pay-per-view?
overlaps in both companies. I
No,
think there's a
get
lot
that.
of. I think there's a lot in both where they don't do enough of checking to see.
That's a good point, Ollie.
All right, up
You
next.
just made a good point, a very good point, actually. The spear through the.
Yeah.
Do you get sick of seeing that too?
Oh, we bring that up all the time. It's just overdone.
There's plenty of things in WWE that are screw-ups and that they don't do great the same way as AEW. I
Right.
just feel like for some reason in AEW it's magnified 100 times.
Well, we'll point them out when we see them for both companies.
Wow.
So there we go.
Oh, what's a better product?
Depends on what kind of wrestling you like.
What's a better product for you?
For me,
Yeah.
personally, AEW.
Ty, what's a better product for you?
It's
One-
tough
one
because
answer.
it's tough because one's better at one thing and one's better at another.
What's the better product for you? If you had to get rid of
AEW.
one, okay, Tosh.
Yeah,
If
it's
you had to
AEW. It's
get,
not even close to me. I mean,
to me, there is no. I would
Right.
can AEW way before I would can WWE.
yeah, well, that's your. Everybody's got their preference, man.
I know.
We don't need to.
I'm surprised
we're not
that you three.
That's what I like. I like wrestling.
I know, but
There's plenty of,
yeah,
there's
is
plenty
you
of things
three-
that AEW can do better.
Yeah. I
know.
when I
Is
see
it because they have more? Dude, it can't be talent.
part of it is.
All right, how many guys can match WWE's top 10?
We don't need to get into all that again. Let's talk about the show right here that we got. Let's get back on track talking about the show here, man. All right.
Nobody cares about the show. They want to care about
Yes,
how
they
we
do.
feel about certain things,
They
dude.
do. Well,
There's
listen.
people that are listening to that are thinking, you know what, Hank? That's a great question. if you had to never watch one or the other, which one would it be?
Yeah.
In fact, let's do a poll on that. We're doing a hack poll.
Put it to the poll.
If you had to get rid of one or the other, which one would you get rid of?
Okay. We'll put it up on the
And we'll
social.
let Tosh get back to the show.
Thank you, sir. Up next on the show was the Young Bucks taking on FTR and the Acclaimed, a three-way match for the AEW World Tag Titles. The Young Bucks came out dressed as Sgt. Pepper, Beatles. I thought that was pretty cool. Max finally was able to get a rap after weeks of not being able to, with the Young Bucks cutting him off. This match, I don't know about you guys. What did you guys think about it? Because there was a lot of work going on. I did enjoy some of the spots in this, but when AEW was started, one of the things I was most excited for was a focus on the tag division. That's one of the things that they promised, right? And the Young Bucks were a big part of that. and so was the Lucha Brothers and all these teams. And the tag division in AEW is kind of stale, I think. And the Young Bucks act is as well. The match was never bad or anything. I'm not going to, I did like some of the spots in it where they were switching up, doing some of the finishers, teaming up with the other guys to do some of the other finishers.
Like that, yeah.
I did enjoy some of those spots and all. And the work in this match was really strong throughout. I thought
Timing was great.
the timing was
I
great.
was just going to say, I loved the timing.
And those
in this
guys,
match.
those guys' timing should be great.
Yeah, like when the listener, I think it was Bob from Broomall wrote us in last week asking us about the Olympics.
Bob.
The three teams that we all mentioned for U.S. representation in the Olympics were the Young Bucks, the Acclaimed, FTR, and
The three teams in this match.
They're all
yeah.
really good tag teams, but for some reason for me,
The timing was good to me, but the flow was off.
yeah, but for some reason for me though,
It always is in these kind of matches to me.
My point though is like, in 2002, 2003 in WWE, after a while when you saw, Edge, Christian, the Dudleys, and the Hardys, how many times can you see combos with those same three teams? And I think we're kind of at that point now with FTR, the Young Bucks, and the Acclaimed. It's kind of been a lot
especially
of the same.
FTR and Young Bucks.
Right, like I don't need to see those
And
guys in the ring anymore.
And they still actually did come up with some fresh spots,
They did.
even though they did have worked together 1,000 times before, which I appreciated. The timing was really well. It was a little, I don't know. I loved Billy during the match. He's just awesome. Like always, like trying to jump in and go around and do like his thing. Like like he's always making his presence known, but not taking away from like the spotlight. So. That was good, and I had something else in my head, and I totally forgot about it.
I can't get over why three people don't start in the ring.
Right, if it's a
this
three-way
kind
match,
of
it should be a
match.
three-way match.
Yeah, well,
Like
I agree with you.
it's so strange to me. To me it throws everything off.
Yeah, it does a little bit. I don't like the psychology of the three-way tag match when you don't have the guys all in the ring together.
Yeah,
it's
I agree with you.
It's not a three-way tag match then. Like, what are we?
Yeah, I agree, and I believe after, like the first set of spots, that doesn't really matter anyway because they just get into like
But I just hate how
the
it's
free
like
for all.
just like a guy who's not on your team can
breaks
blind
down
tag you and then
Right.
automatically he's in. It's
But
like
100%, it doesn't
negates
make
that
sense.
if all
Yeah.
three guys are in the ring
You
at
know
the
what's
same
funny?
time, and you
If it's
then it's only you tagging your partner.
If it's a three-way singles match, all three is start. But
Right.
if it's a three-way dance tag team match, only two.
That's what
is
I was
start.
saying.
It throws the whole flow of the
just
match
made me
off to
think
me.
about
I
it.
feel like you could come up with so many. Like, the match could be so much better with three guys in there at all times.
I agree.
And it would be different if it was. It would be different if it was an elimination. If it was an eliminator
I also
tag
think it should be that.
too, but because if you could possibly lose the match and never enter the ring as a team, you know what I'm
I mean,
saying?
technically,
No, but yeah,
but they
right.
should do that. As a
You,
booker,
like,
I
never
love that.
tag- like, them
The team
never tagging.
another team ever gets it. That's good.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Like
live.
realistically, you could lose the match
That's
and never
great.
get in
That's
the ring.
creative.
That's
Like,
really
yeah.
creative. The
Yeah.
team loses, it never even works.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
And it's like the best team, maybe. How about you lose your
the
belt and
champions.
you never
I
get
was
in
just
the
gonna
match?
say,
You didn't even get in there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant.
There you go. Give him the
That's
pencil.
freaking brilliant.
You're welcome.
Give him the pencil. So
That's brilliant, dude.
there was, like I said, there was a lot of cool stuff with like the switching partners for some of the finishers
Yeah, I
they
like
did.
that aspect of the match for sure.
Then Cash and Caster, that's who hit the Shatter Machine on Nick Jackson. They did a bunch of counters, and then Matt Jackson got the belt, but then Daddy Ass came in and hit the Famouser, which was pretty cool. Then the Acclaimed hit their finish, but Nick Jackson broke it up. Nick then hit Dax with a belt shot, but Dax kicked out of that.
I want to say, hold on, Toss. Sorry to cut you off, but I
No.
want to say another thing about this match. When I don't know what they call it. Like they claim when Caster's holding the dude's legs up and Bowens drops the leg on his nut.
the scissor.
The
Yeah,
first
whatever,
time,
yeah.
the first time it got cut off, and I thought that was great. And then they went back to it a second time, and I thought they missed an opportunity of making it even bigger. because they hit it the second time, and I thought they should have got cut off again.
Oh, then come
And
back.
then you
third
go back
time.
a third time, and it's that much bigger, and the crowd's that much more with it.
Yeah,
And I thought they might have missed like a bigger pop opportunity right there.
there you go. That's definitely one way you could have done it.
Yo, did you notice? I know none of you's noticed when Billy Gunn came in and hit the dude with his leg drop on the chair.
Famous. Yeah.
He goes to get out, and then he's like, "Oh shit, I gotta get rid of the chair. I forgot the chair."
I did not notice that, but that's a great point.
Have you noticed that, Ty?
Yeah.
I did not.
That's so little, you know what I mean? But it's so big, you can't
he
leave
got
the
it.
chair there.
Yeah, you
Right,
can't
he
leave the
got out, and then he was like, "Oh shit!" Then went back and did. And I forget, it was a young buck he did it too, right? They took
Yeah.
a great bump on that.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, dude, it's like
He went down, and his feet went up, and he had a
nose dive.
great bump on that.
Dude, the Bucks are great. There's a reason why I picked them. Freaking.
I'm honestly surprised
Dirty
that they
scoundrel.
decided to put them over.
Yeah, so then to finish, the Bucks hit the
makes
the
sense.
V trigger.
Makes
on,
sense to me.
On Dax, they picked up the match. Look again.
The Cash dude was the shits in the match.
You didn't like him?
No, because his timing was off. He was like a couple spots that he did. He was like when there was one, like the other dudes were on
Is
the
this?
top.
Are you
rope
talking
or
about the
something.
bald guy or the other guy?
He's talking about the hair guy. Cash is the hair guy.
talking
Yeah,
about
the guy
Cash?
with the pink in the back and the white of blood.
They had Bret Hart kind of type.
Yeah, I
thing.
get what you're saying, but he has hair. Okay.
Yeah, but
FTR
We
hair,
never know if we know who
You're
he's
right.
talking
Well,
about.
no, I'm glad.
FTR bald and FTR hair.
Yeah, but he was too early on like 3 spots.
Okay, usually I love his work.
He was right on for a couple others, but he was way too early, like up on the apron, like because he was getting ready to jump to the top rope once something happened off of the top. Oh yeah, that's right. They were setting up
Power
another
and
top
Glory.
rope
They were doing
spot,
that,
and
yeah.
then he was just there for like 30 seconds before he should have been.
Gotcha.
Little things.
I would go probably about like 3.5 stars for this match. I did enjoy the work, but again, I would say AEW have really.
And there was great falses.
There were some
really
really
was
cool.
some great
and
falses.
these guys do so many counters and finishers. Like the Young Bucks don't have bad matches ever. Like they really don't. They really don't.
No.
Like, they're just so
It's
talented.
impossible for them.
Right. Like
Their memories are so great.
they're like lowest level is like a 3.5 star. But for whatever
Absolutely,
reason,
I
the
agree.
rules of this match and some of the booking, I want AEW to redevelop their tag team division and really focus on some of these teams and pick a team out there.
That ain't happening.
Well, I
Their
got a
tag
que-
division's what the Bucks wanted to be.
I got a question for you, Tosh. Do you think the fact that they, I know they've had it for a while now, but like not only introduced the trios tag, but that's kind of like taken away from the
Definitely.
actual only 2 tag. You know,
Definitely.
the 2-person tag teams.
Yeah.
Like you have your triples.
No,
you have your
yes,
two-
I was
like-
thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
Even though I like the idea of a triples tag like belt, I think that's probably taken away from just the 2-man tag.
Totally, I think-
Which is
in
a
my
little
division.
surprising considering how much talent they have.
Yeah, they got some stuff to figure out there, believe
Yeah.
me. And I think the tag division is one of them. But I go 3.5 stars on the match.
I'm going 3.
3, Ty,
3.5.
Hack.
I got it. Dude, it's like a 4 to me.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
I just gotta. The work's impressive.
Yeah, no,
It's
these
just
guys
the
are
straight
so
work
good.
is
And
impressive.
like to my point, I
It's just
think the match could have been a 5 if you have
could've
all
been a
3
7.
guys starting in there at the same time.
Right. I agree, Ollie. The rules of those triple threat tag team matches, somebody out there in wrestling should take a look into them because I think you made
Did
a good point
medics
there.
come in on this match?
No, but after the match, they had the grizzled young vets, I think they were called. They hit the ring, did a little stare down with the Bucks, and then they laid out FTR to set up a future program. So there you go. Maybe they'll be one of the teams they build up in the future, I guess.
And are they from? They got a big pop.
I think
they are. I assume they were.
I assume they would.
I know they were in NXT at one point, and I'm not really that familiar with their work, but
Right.
yeah, they did get a pretty big reaction. Up next on the show was the Casino Gauntlet match. So this was, man, I really enjoyed this one.
You
So-
should have heard Ty burying Nigel the whole time.
Oh,
It was
wow.
so
So
funny.
let's get
It was the most horrific thing I've ever seen in my
I
entire life.
have it as
hold
my
on.
first note right here.
It was the
Okay.
most horrific
So,
thing I've ever
My
seen in my life.
first note is about Nigel.
So the match goes until there is one pinfall, right? So theoretically,
Which I kind of
I hate.
I don't like
this,
that either.
I like this gimmick. I like this gimmick.
I mean, it's different.
It's different, and I like it because
But let's see.
it's got the Royal Rumble quality.
It was the same thing. There's 2 guys in the ring. There's 7 guys on the outside doing nothing.
900 guys outside doing nothing every time.
Joke.
I agree with that. I think it went a little bit too long. I think maybe you should hold these matches to like 6 or 7 guys.
I just counted. There was 12 guys in the match. I would like it more with the pinfall style if you were doing, let's say, 8.
All right, is it a pinfall or is it over the top rope?
No. It's not over the top rope. It's first pinfall wins.
Or submission.
I know.
submission.
I know. That's what we hate about it.
I like
Right.
that about it.
I would like for it to be over the top.
Right.
I like the idea of the match. I would like it to be less people.
I think I'm with you too, Ali, where I wish it goes like, if it goes 6, 7, 8 guys, I'm fine with it. But the psychology of nobody being able to get a fall.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
The psychology
With 2 guys in the ring and 15 around the out, like 10 guys sitting around the
The
outside.
psychology was to get over as many European
Yes.
dudes as you could in the
Yes.
match.
Yeah.
That is the psychology.
So first off was Orange Cassidy. He had a really awesome entrance, big pop. I loved it. I loved that.
Dude, he was
Rocking the
literally
All
on
Black.
the floor. Like you didn't see him forever, and all of a sudden he shows up at the end.
He was the first guy in, man. And then Kazuchika Okada.
Yeah, him and Okada did some good stuff.
They did, and
They really did.
I love the hug spot, and then Okada's just such a dick, man. He just has this smirk. His facial expressions in this character, I think they haven't really pushed him yet, and I wish they did. But man, he seems like he's having a lot of fun because you see the look on his
They
face.
pushed him already. They pushed him when they were doing him with Omega.
Well, they didn't do it.
Well, I know, but him and Omega were doing it in the Japan
Yes,
thing,
but I'm
and
saying
then
to
they
do it
bring
in
him
AEW.
here.
In AEW,
I know,
I'm saying.
and then they put. I know, but he's pushed.
I know he's established, but
He's
I want him.
pushed.
I want him to be established in AEW and have long singles matches in AEW.
That ain't ever gonna happen.
You don't think so? I think it will.
No.
Well, why would I
Well,
sign
unless
the
he
guy?
likes America more than he likes Japanese.
He's not. He is signed in America. He's
he's no longer with
He
New
is not
Japan.
with New Japan, Hack. He's
He's
only
no
with
longer
AEW.
with-
so he doesn't do anything overseas anymore.
He may do one or two
he's
matches
here
for.
to take life off.
He will. Oh, you think he's
here.
cashing out?
Dude,
This is a vacation?
Dude, could you imagine? All right,
He's on
imagine
holiday?
making the same money for All Japan or New Japan or Strong Style Japan, whatever. You literally have a night off every night compared to that. And they're working
half the day.
They're working 18 times a month at minimum over there, all renew.
Right.
You know what I mean? He could come here and have it easy.
And have one match a
and
week.
and he's deserved it.
Well, I would say, yeah, he absolutely has.
And you could see, I could see it in his face from watching him in Japan. Like he's like more relaxed. Right? He's like a
having fun.
happy-go-lucky joker right now.
Yeah.
and you just really see it in his face.
Well, one of the reasons he got really tight with the Young Bucks is they were both in TNA at the time together, and the Young Bucks were just straight jobbers. TNA didn't care about them. And they brought in Okada, who was doing an excursion over in America, and they didn't care about Okada at all, and he wasn't pushed. And the Young Bucks and him got very close in the locker room as like disgruntled guys in the back that they weren't doing anything with, and now look at them in the business and everything they've accomplished. TNA really dropped the ball with both of them. But as to the match, I enjoyed some of the work. The huge reaction for Nigel McGuinness, who you guys did not like. Nigel McGuinness, for me,
No,
I've never
the
seen-
reaction was unbelievable.
I've never seen Nigel work.
he
Ever.
hasn't wrestled in 13 years.
I
and it
know
was
that. It's been a
It
long
looked like
time.
he had
is that
never
what
been.
it was?
It
Yeah.
looked like he had never been in a wrestling ring ever in his life.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
just his outfit.
All right, Ty.
Okay.
Is that no? I agree with Ty.
Dude, he
Here,
looked
look
like he
at
had never been in a wrestling ring
He had a
before in
lot
his
of
life.
ring rust at first in the match, believe me. Some of those spots they were doing. But Nigel McGuinness, I'm telling
It looked like you in there.
wow, Barry.
I think I can outwork Nigel McGuinness in a second.
No,
Never even
no.
had a match.
Listen, Nigel McGuinness is an all-time
He had a 6-man with
I
us.
had a super kick for a
hell of a wrestler. Nigel, like amazing wrestler. No, I'm serious. Ty, you got to go back and watch some.
What
of these
was
Ring of
his
Honor-
injury? Dementia?
No, he did. He did have neck injuries and
he
concussions
forgot
and
how to
stuff.
work?
and he had a lot of stuff going on with him.
Dude,
but-
he looked.
Look, it's first match in 13 years, and it's a goofy.
Mine's out of power.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Re-up on the
I don't
pen
know.
there.
I just like him.
He was
as,
slow. He
I
was
just
slow.
like him as an announcer, but
Yeah, you're projecting, Ty.
no. What I was gonna say, it got like I would never do that. If the guy could work, the guy could work. But like,
Ty, he hasn't wrestled
Wait
in
a minute.
13 years.
Wait a
dude,
minute.
you don't think they
Was
like
this the
trained
guy-
at all for this? They were just like, go ahead, buddy.
Wait
Yeah,
a
I'm
minute.
sure,
Is
but,
this
like, it's
the
not-
regular announcer on TV?
He's the
Yeah,
Saturday
the
night announcer.
the
Nigel
heel British
McGuinness.
announcer.
Yes. He's the one who hates Brian on the commentary.
Wait, is this the guy that I told? Dude, I think.
You don't know Nigel McGuinness?
Yeah, I know, but I know him as I knew him as a wrestler back then.
He had a
and then
mohawk.
he's been
He had a
yeah.
mohawk as a
Wait a
wrestler.
minute, I think he was in my hotel room the night that Dreamer took his first fucking cop hit a pot. And first of all, it's me, Tommy's in there.
Are you talking about the heel announcer from WWE, the British guy?
Yeah, probably.
Alright.
Wade Barrett?
Probably Wade Barrett.
Yeah, probably.
You just mixed up Wade Barrett and Nigel McGuinness.
Well, they're both
There we go.
like British heel
and
announcers.
they got
yeah.
beards and shit, right?
But that's how I knew.
Yeah?
Yeah,
No,
okay.
the WWE guy does.
Yeah, Nigel doesn't.
The
He's
other
got a
guy
little
doesn't
scruff.
really. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, but Nigel was.
All right, but whenever we get back to that, dude, I got a great story for you. We were in England. Oh my god, you had to be naked to get into my hotel room.
Oh, hey now. Out came Kyle O'Reilly. Nigel took a long powder outside. And then Zack Sabre Jr. came in and got a giant
He's the
reaction.
highlight of the match for me.
Dude, he is
He's awesome.
incredible.
He's so fun to
He
watch.
just won the G1.
and he doesn't even do any high spots or
Right.
anything. Like, he's just so smooth on
everything,
the mat. Like,
everything he does is just top notch. And then they did get to do some cool spots with Nigel and him, and the place was going pretty wild for that. Out then was Okada coming back in, and then we got Sabre and Okada squaring off, taking back to some of those New Japan days. Okada then hit an elbow and went for the Rainmaker, and then he went for the middle finger spot, and that's when Zack Sabre broke the finger, which
I know that was done 3 times during the night.
there were a lot of finger breaking
Yes.
spots. Yeah,
And I like how they brought back the Sabre and Cassidy thing. Like there was
Yeah.
a lot of
William Regal was so
callbacks.
pissed at all those
intertwining angles.
And then Roderick Strong came out, and then another countdown right away after that. Mark Briscoe was in. He did a couple cool spots.
Dude.
And then, what?
I loved it that how once the crowd popped
For Briscoe?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, his
karate
kung
guy?
fu
Yeah.
moves are like,
It's
I was
hilarious.
cracking up, dude.
his arms are so long.
They are.
You know, I mean, dude, seriously, he's an ape. He's a chimpanzee. His freaking arms are so freaking long. It's like a joke.
I love him.
And I love that uppercut
Yeah.
chop.
Yeah, he's
Just
so
love it. The
he's
crowd
so-
pops, and they love him.
They do. They really do. And he.
But
is,
I think they love him more as a person than as a wrestler. But people love you as a wrestler, you know what I mean? But sometimes you get to the personal level where people
I agree
love
with
you as a
that. I
person.
think a lot of people really love him
Yeah,
as a person.
with his brother, was it, that died and stuff like
Yeah.
that? You know what I mean? They love his person more than his personality, maybe, or whatever I'm trying to say.
I think he's recently been cutting some like great promos in AEW. They just gets. He knows how to cut that. Like I think it's a lost
And
art.
segue to somebody else.
Yes, that lost art of the 35 second promo.
Absolutely.
With a hot, note instead of that long 15-minute talking segment. It's a lost art in wrestling, the short promo. Mark Briscoe cuts some
He's kind of
great
like
promos.
the AEW version of like R-Truth almost, like in like the
You know what? You're kind of right there.
not like
Hold like
total
Toad like it
gimmick,
is,
but, like,
not as like a wrestler. Hold like Toad your regular freaking
right, but like
language
the fact
kinda.
that you're talking about the promo, like he'll come in on somebody else's promo and be like, "Oh yeah, we're going out like that," like
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know.
it's like anytime you see him during the night, it's a pop, no
He makes
matter
you
what
smile.
he's doing.
Right.
He
Yeah,
makes you
he
smile.
puts a smile on my face.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, me too.
That's
I love
what it is.
But that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying with like
How can
R-Truth
we
and
even
everything. Like,
say? Yeah, he puts
does.
a smile on my
I
face.
pop
He
for
just
him
does.
every time he's on camera.
He just does.
I'm never like I'm tired of seeing Mark Briscoe.
I don't even care what they would do with this character.
Yeah.
They
Right.
would just put it. Yeah, that's so. All right, there's got to be a classification for that.
Okay.
Just put the dude just puts a smile on
Yeah.
my face.
Hangman Page was in next. This is one of the guys I really thought. I was
Dude,
like,
he looked like he'd been up
With
for
the
3 days.
dirtiest stash
yeah,
ever.
I love how grimy he's looking right now. It really fits the character well. And then he went wild on everybody too. And then out comes Hack, one of your boys, Jeff Jarrett, and man, he got a giant reaction as well.
I like to see Jared in there.
Dude, I loved seeing Jarrett in there because like Jared, again, you guys ripped me for saying that promo with Owen about Owen Hart a couple weeks ago, man, when the Owen tournament. Man, Jeff Jarrett, I know I said I wanted him to win the thing, but man, he has kind of gotten a little run here in AEW. I'm
He's
really
pulling
happy
off
for
good
him.
work right now. Like,
is,
and he's
and
being a pro's pro, and he's passing the torch. Like, he's doing his job.
Yeah.
Like, he's doing his
And
job.
he's honestly got the best punch in the company.
Dude.
He
Yeah.
literally has the best punch in the freaking company.
Dude.
You see him on the top rope, every single one. He's like ringing them off of his forehead. Everybody else is punching behind their heads and shit. Like, Jarrett might have the best punch in the industry.
I'm with you. No, I'm with you.
I gotta watch the punches over again.
no,
but
I-
it's good. I know it's good.
I noticed
I
it when
had
he
it
was
as a
doing
note
it.
hack. I swear, Jarrett's punches are money. Like
They just are.
Like,
and they roll right here. I've felt them. And he don't even touch you with the goddamn thing. Incredible shit.
yeah, can we get some Memphis wrestling tapes for everybody in wrestling, please? Just watch, because every guy from Memphis has great punches. Every guy that worked Memphis has great, like Dundee, Lawler, all these guys. All these guys are great punches.
Lawler.
Yeah,
dude. Oh, God, Lawler's punches.
Like if that's half the business is punching and kicking. You might as well have half of the half right. You know, I
I
don't
agree
know.
with you, Tom.
Yeah,
Great point.
I'm serious though. If
Yeah, great point.
If you're doing punch kick, anyway, he brawled with Hangman. I thought it was pretty cool, and then it's just hilarious.
Hold on, I got Hangman Powerbomb on Broderick.
Well, hold on.
All right, yeah. What
I don't know what that. I know we came in with the
huge Ricochet pop. Are we there
well,
yet?
so hold on. We're right there. Ricochet comes in next, and did he have biggest pop or what in the match?
Wow,
Dude,
Yeah.
I mean,
like wow.
You can
everybody
tell- you can
expected
tell.
it, and he still got a big ass.
Is he from England or something?
No.
It was his first time showing up. He just came over from WWE.
Yeah, and I
Okay.
mean he ran wild.
I
and was
mean, but
hitting
he's like
everything.
been well known on the indies, like Ring of Honor.
Everybody fed him well. Oh yeah, I know.
Well,
Yeah,
and you can- well,
I
and-
probably came to his pap.
And you could tell, like, from the look on his face, like, as soon as he came out,
New
he
hit.
was fit, like, he
Feeling
was
it.
jacked up.
New hit.
Yeah, he was.
Dude,
You know?
he's been one of the best workers on the planet for the past whatever. But WWE don't give him no push. He don't I don't know. I'm excited to see what he can do for
So
AEW.
I'm glad you said that, Ty.
There's a lot. All right,
I got a
listen
point
to
here.
me.
Hold on. I got a point, Hack. I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking here.
Okay.
You got a lot of guys that left WWE because they weren't getting that push to the main event. Pac, Claudio, Malachi Black, Andrade when he was there. All these guys where you're like, man, they're so talented. They could be main eventers. And none of them have really panned out to be that main eventer in AEW.
Because
Why?
AEW don't know how to make a star.
Well, no, I'm going to ask though. Why do you think Ricochet will or won't be a main eventer?
I've been a fan of his work ever before he got to even WWE. Like some of Tommy's House of Hardcore shows. Like I've been watching him for a long time. I think he's a very, very good worker. Now I don't know if I don't want to say that I expected him to be like a WWE heavyweight champion. I just thought that he would, be more up there. Like I know he's got plenty of TV time and stuff like that, but he kind of got, fell into the weeds and was just, doing lower stuff. But he may never be an AEW heavyweight champion, but I feel like he'll be able to showcase his abilities.
More of who he is.
More of who
Yes.
the worker that he is with the people in AEW. Like, the work rate, I feel like, will be better suited for his...
It'll be tremendous. I mean, the
for his
matches he's
style.
going to have are going to
And
be...
Yeah.
to your point, Tosh, while I do think, obviously, it's important to a lot of these people to be a main eventer or be in the top of the card, but it's also super important to go out there and just have the freedom to do whatever it is the fuck you want.
Right. You're
And not have to
At
answer
least
to an
more
agent.
freedom than...
And not
yeah.
have to answer to an agent or not get last minute, oh, my show's cut off the match because Vince said so.
I'm
or,
not working 3 minutes with Braun Strowman every week.
yeah,
Right.
or something
When
like
it
that.
should have been 10 and now it got cut to 3. And yeah, I get to
Exactly.
go out and have a really, really good match on a pay-per-view. I know I'm going to get this every month pretty much. So
And it's almost kind of like, yeah, you need the opportunities, but in a way, AEW gives you the opportunities, and you got to get yourself over with the crowd.
That's true.
And it's kind of that. I feel like that also too is kind of dictating people's future,
Yeah.
or like when they come over or things like that. Like you got to get over, and you got to get over quick.
And
Right.
you can say what you want. Like maybe some of those dudes that come over from WWE, yeah, maybe they haven't been AEW champions, but I feel like they're more over in AEW's company because of the freedom that they've been allowed to show what they can do and establish a talent and be able to work different guys and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, I'm just thinking of some of the guys that have made the jump, and it's like, it's not...
Listen,
Okay.
this is what it is. Now, if you think about it, think about the guy, the African American dudes that have been over for Vince's company. You know what I mean? Who's the last biggest single one? Booker,
Kofi.
Lashley?
Big E. Big E.
Okay, yeah. So that kid isn't at that level. So if you're not at that level, Vince will use you as a comedy act, as in who's the other guy that we were just talking about?
R-Truth.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, Vince isn't there
Vince
anymore, but you're
puts
saying
those
WWE
black guys in those characters besides the over big ass dudes.
So you're saying WWE historically has not pushed black wrestlers well, and I
Absolutely.
I totally agree with you.
Absolutely.
I mean, King Booker T didn't get the run until he was doing a King gimmick, right? They couldn't have put it on him as regular Booker
Dude,
T
all right,
straight.
let me tell you a great story. So every time Booker would come out to the ring, and when we were in, this was probably WCW or whatever, and him and Sharmell, his wife, was with him, and the guy would say, "And here it is."
That's King Booker. That's WWE.
Okay, all right. So I guess we were in that company. And then one night, he just wanted to screw with the announcer. He made it, we were at a house show somewhere, and the guy said it 45 times. I counted each one.
Oh, hell, King Booker.
45 times Booker made him say it just to amuse us in the locker room.
Oh, I love Booker.
I counted every single one. When he came back, he's like, "You counted them?" Again, 45.
That's awesome. No, I get your point. Maybe Ricochet sees more opportunity in AEW than WWE.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. They got their R-Truth. You know how they are with their black guys, dude. It was like, I don't want to say it's an old school like racist thing, but it was like your court jester was a black dude. And I'm not talking about like your court jester if you're in England or you're in France and you're King Henry VIII. And
No,
stuff
you're saying like
that.
the minstrel show shit.
But yeah, it was like Vince had always kept his guys that were like funny black guys.
Slick.
There's,
Right?
I'm sure there's tons of things, but if you're not over like God, dude, then you got to be funny or you go.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. With the booking of this match, do you guys think Ricochet should have won this match in his debut? Because that was your prediction,
I think anybody should have won it besides Christian.
No, I don't think. No.
I hated the finish. I got hated fucking finish totally.
yeah, so Christian came in
did
But
Christian came in
I don't. The winner of that match gets a shot at the AEW World Title, and
Whatever they want.
And I don't think you can throw Ricochet into that
right away.
Right away.
Okay, so
Oh, that makes sense.
and it's also
But I
more
don't
of a,
think you can
That
put.
makes sense, Ty.
But what is
I didn't
putting
know that
Christian
when I was
Cage
Yeah,
in
the
the
winner
picture
of the
different?
match gets a shot anytime at the AEW at the heavyweight title.
I mean, you get potentially. Do you think Christian should be a world champion at this
Does
point?
anybody give a fuck about Bryan Danielson versus Christian Cage?
I mean, it would be a really hell of a match. I don't think he would cash in on Bryan.
I don't think anybody cares about
I think it
that.
would be just a cash in. I don't think it'd be like a scheduled match. I think if they do Christian, if they put him over, I think it'd be like the
wait
money.
a minute. So you think they're making their own money in the bank?
That's what
right
they
there?
are. You can cash it in at any time. So that's
Yeah.
what they are.
That's basically what it
you
is.
can cash it in at any time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you
That's
know that, Ollie?
Yeah, when he got
I watched the pay per view. Yeah, I knew it.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
when he won the match, he handed him like that thing that looked like a menu. It was a contract, and
Yeah.
it's basically a contract for.
Yeah, the finish was
I
freaking
hated that.
horrible.
So you have
but
Killswitch
hold
come
on,
out,
I got
right?
the Okada's clothesline on Jeff Jarrett was great.
The Rainmaker?
Was freaking great. Jarrett took a great bump, dude. That got me to go, oh, when I was watching it.
Yeah, that was really
That was
good.
awesome. So, all right, so he can cash it in. Yeah, and I didn't like with him and who's the guy, the guy with the mask on or whatever.
So he got his name changed to Killswitch, but he came out as Luchasaurus
to make you think he was going to turn
that's
on Christian.
what was screwing me up.
Right. So they made you think he was going to turn on Christian finally when he comes out. He's the last guy. And he grabs him and he doesn't.
But why? Why even make him think that?
Because they lost the tag belts earlier in the night, and he thought that Christian might have cost them the tag belts, so that's why he was.
All right, that makes a little bit
They're
more
doing
sense.
like if you remember like Game of Thrones, like Reek. That's how Luchasaurus Kill Switch kind of is.
Yeah,
Like just
but, dude,
beating him
they've gone-
down so much that he's like a beaten dog, and now he's like he'll eventually turn on his master. Yes, remember Reek? Yeah, that's what.
But they've gone to this well too many times now. The fake turn.
I know,
with
it just
Luchasaurus.
keeps going and going and going.
The turn should have
I don't
happened
even
last
think
night or
about
before.
it, like in my brain.
Yeah, it's the fake turn. I mean, what is this? Like the fifth time? Like
It's been too long drawn out.
Yeah, it's like, dude, and how many times? Like, I don't know.
Overall, though, I had a lot of fun watching this match. Getting all these guys mixed in together and all the different styles and different names of different years
Yeah,
and
it's a
different.
it's a
fun,
fun little
match.
thing, but-
I'm going 3.5 stars for this. Ollie,
3.
Ty.
1.5.
Wow, you're so down on this one. I can't believe it. I love this.
I just hate.
2.5.
I just hate everybody being like, I would just prefer it be like
I hate the finish.
like a Royal Rumble over the top thing. I don't mind Christian being in the heavyweight picture. I don't care about that because Christian's doing great work right now. Actually, like he's doing very, very good work. But I didn't like the fake lucha turn again for the 900th time.
Yeah, we've seen it a little too much. I want them to further that story along the ways. Up next on the show was MJF taking on Will Ospreay for the American title. The entrances in this, I really liked
Dude,
MJF's.
the MJF.
MJF's was great. He's coming out as like a Apollo Creed, Rocky.
Yeah,
like it
like,
was just,
dude.
it was awesome. It was really good, and I love Old Glory with his face on it everywhere. I thought that was great
I know,
too.
and he opens his arms, and then he's got the 2 eagles. Like,
Yeah, it
it's
was so over the top. It was great. And it was just really cool. I didn't really care for Will Ospreay's entrance.
And, and also, he knows he's going to be the heel no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
Correct? So you might as well do your Apollo Creed.
Do it all.
Well, yeah, you're
Come out there
Captain
and
America
do it
in
and
England
do it
against
and
Will
do it.
Ospreay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, that's
The
super
flag,
intelligence.
the flag coming down and the 50 stars being all his face, like the streamers, the top hat, and it
The
was so
streamers
good.
were everywhere for the rest
Yeah,
of the
they
show
were.
too.
I know, which they clearly didn't think through that the streamers were going to stick.
They
on-
pissed me off the whole rest of the night.
I kind of liked it. He's looking
No,
around.
I
sometimes.
hated those things flying. They just
Well, yeah, the rest of the night, the ref was taking them out
as
of
I
it.
was looking at them.
Okay,
I hated them streamers with me, Stevie Richards, and Funk.
you said
Those
this,
streamers were on my
Man,
barbed
you got
wire.
a
Yeah,
serious
he hates streamers.
Right, with these streamers
guys.
on the barbed wire.
If you ever see that Haks on a card in the Indies, I want you and your friends to organize throwing streamers out at him because I think that would be the best moment of the year on the
He might
Indies.
walk out.
Yeah, he might shoot. He might walk out like Sid. This is leaving a match.
I'm going to softball.
Yeah, I'm going to softball. So this match was super fun, man.
I will hug you and love you as my brother, as we all should feel about everybody in the United States of America.
There we go. So this match was.
I watched about an hour of a Trump rally
I was going to
today.
say,
so
I'm telephoned to prove this message.
This match was really, really fun. I enjoyed this match a
no, this
lot.
match was really, really, really good.
Yeah, like this is just watching two pros working. I thought everything they did pretty much was crisp. I really loved some of the stuff like Max hitting the kangaroo kick for the heel heat now, a year later after it got one of the
But
biggest
damn,
pops.
you're saying it's heel heat, but the crowd popped for it.
They did, but it's the way he did the reaction after he hit it. I'm like,
Yeah,
it's just
I guess.
smart.
Dude, there were, to me, the only, and I, it's hard for me to even say this, that I thought there was too much. You know what I'm saying? You're taking a super power bomb on the apron and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I just didn't think they had to abuse each other so much to get to the ending.
I was going to say, man, Ospreay took some bumps in
Like,
this match.
serious
dude. Like,
Cutter he missed on the apron.
yeah,
yeah,
like,
He's taking that
some-
straight on the back right
he
there.
took some bumps in this
That was
match.
a nasty one.
The
Man.
other one, what was MJF coming off the top rope on the apron when he put his legs around his head and then he
Yeah,
flipped over?
Canadian Destroyer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that-
Canadian
Canadian
Destroyer
Destroyer,
is
yeah.
what it's called, yeah.
Okay.
I love
Yeah, too many huge bumps.
My favorite spot in the match was Ospreay going for the hidden blade off the apron, but just drilling the cameraman.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh, cameraman wore it too.
Dude, was that guy?
I loved his underwear and his
Yeah, what was
socks.
he rocking his
That was
underwear?
the greatest part of the
Do you
whole
think he
scene, was
purposely
the underwear
rocked
and the socks.
Do you think he purposely rocked
Yes.
that
Oh,
pair?
I missed that.
Dude, he had like these
Oh,
blue
dude, they were
and,
like Captain Kangaroo.
Yeah.
Freaking, they were matching socks, like kid socks and
Oh, really?
underwear.
I missed
Yeah.
yeah,
Damn.
he took a hell of a bump, the cameraman.
And didn't move.
Yeah, that was a great sell. I wonder if it was a worker.
I thought, no, it was definitely a work. Because I saw it was like a second to set it up.
Okay. No. I know it was a work, but do you think it was a worker operating that camera?
Probably not.
Really?
I would say definitely not.
When you guys did things like that in the business, and you got like somebody who was not a wrestler involved, what would be like the planning of that? Like, hey, do you want to do this?
Not
Or-
doing it with them.
You don't
That'd
want
be
to.
my plan. Like,
You don't
no.
want to work with
No, I
non-workers.
don't,
Okay.
no, why would I want to fucking chance anything like that?
Okay.
I'm like, nope.
Well,
Sorry, I'll do it some other way.
He
You know
ate,
what I mean?
he ate the bump like a pro there. Yeah, there was another couple hidden blade.
Yeah, but I don't want to hurt some dude. I'm not taking a chance like that. Hurt some because even WWE, it's like Ron and Charlie are out there. I ain't hurting Ron or Charlie on a match.
Okay.
You know, that's
Yeah. Ospreay went for a hidden blade, but then when the ref was distracted, Max hit a belt shot, and then there was a big pop for the kick out there. I didn't buy that one as a near fall because I was like, they're going to do more after this.
Oh, dude, I got a great catch too. MJF catching Will Ospreay on that backflip over the rope,
Space Tiger
and
drop.
catching him outside and pile driving him or
Oh,
something.
yeah, that was early in the match. Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
I never saw that match. I never saw that before.
Ospreay kind of caught MJF.
Oh, is that right?
Ospreay went over and MJF was going down, but
Lean,
Ospreay was on his
yeah.
feet and like brought MJF back up so he could
Okay, all right.
you can see it again.
Yeah, if I blinked my eyes, I was like, damn.
I mean,
that
great
was
job by
nice.
MJF, but
Yeah.
he was like kind of leaning back, and Ospreay did a good job of
Yeah, I
lifting
got
him back
it.
up so he could get
Dude,
him
it's
picked
so
up.
hard when you're going over the top rope. Dude,
Yeah.
Yeah.
people don't realize it.
Yeah, that was a really cool spot. Max then, the ref gets bumped after a brainbuster for 2.
Yeah, and why?
Because you're just building up to the
I
the
know,
finish.
but it was like, I don't think they needed that at all.
Me either. I don't
No,
think
you're building up the screw job.
with the brass
Yeah,
knucks.
but it's like, I want, to me, in a match like this, I want something a little bit more clean.
Well, it was
To me,
clean.
as a ref, no, it's not clean when when the ref's on the out, when there's a ref bump, and everything. I want
that was
a
minutes.
clean.
Then the finish was minutes after all that though, because so then you get the low blow by Max, then he gets the knucks, and then Daniel Garcia makes his return.
That too. Him, there we go. I'm glad.
Yeah, but heck, it's almost
But that stopped the. Then it's even again. So then Ospreay hits the hidden blade, and then he finishes him off with the Tiger Driver.
But
Okay,
it's,
and I love.
it's MJF, the heel, constantly winning by cheating, and him finally getting a dose of his own medicine
Yeah, it's
and losing
comeuppance.
and
All right,
losing
Kai,
the belt.
thank you for pointing that out.
You
And
know
it's
what
a-
I'm saying?
No, I
like,
get that.
That's the point of it not being clean, which I'm fine with, because MJF is always winning by cheating, and then he kind of gets
Oh
a
yeah,
dose of
and
his own
then the
medicine.
brass knuckles and shit. What happened to the what's between the brass? I thought, what's the ring?
Used to
thing?
be
The ring
I
got
don't know.
stolen. How about this? The ring got stolen the night before.
What?
I swear, the ring
What?
actually got stolen the night before. Out of his
Oh,
yes.
wow. I was wondering the same
That's
thing.
why he
I'm
was
like,
using
why
the
did
knucks.
Okay, hold
they don't
on.
have a backup ring?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold the fuck on. You're telling me that they couldn't get a fucking ring at a pawn shop just to fucking.
But it's not the dynamite diamond ring.
Okay, but you don't have to go up and put it in the thing. You know what I mean? You just put it on and you bag him with it.
Oh, he had
You know,
knucks.
so it got stolen where? Out of his bag
I
at
don't
the
know.
airport?
I don't know. I just heard it
All
got
right,
stolen.
can somebody please find out why they went to the shitty white taped brand? Like,
Was it Adam Cole?
because honestly,
There you go. Yeah.
dude, honestly, when I look at people, I'm like football players. I'm like, that guy's not wearing a cup. That guy's not wearing a cup. But MJF had a big package. I'm like, yeah, he's gonna pull this ring out later.
You just love staring at
And then
dudes'
he
cocks?
pull-
Or?
and then
a Chippendales thing, man.
because it's, dude, when you have balls the size of mine,
You're
believe
looking to
you me.
compare? Like, yeah.
No, but I'm surprised that, like, No NFL lineman play offense or defense wears a cup.
I never played with a cup.
I know, so it's just like MJF had a cup on, which is very obvious.
Or he had your balls.
No, nobody has my balls. A giraffe doesn't have my balls, dude.
Anyway,
All right, we're getting off the
Will Ospreay hits the Tiger Driver for the finish. Clean finish for the Tiger Driver. What do you give this match, man? I got to go. I'm going 4.5 stars on this match. I absolutely love it.
go 4.
Uncle Sam.
I would say 4. Only maybe not as like a 5. As, I don't know. I felt like we saw that match kind of before when he won with like 30 seconds to go. Even though they did different spots, but I mean it was still an awesome match. I mean 4, I can't compare.
Hack, how many stars you go?
Absolutely hated the freaking last 2 minutes of it. I felt they could have done it way easier. I thought it was an easy way out. But it's still like a 4.5 to me.
Okay.
It really is.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that these guys are so
it's
good.
a great match.
Yeah.
These guys are
It's
so
an unbelievably
good.
great
MJF's
match.
an unbelievable heel. Ospreay, they're both great workers.
I still want to know what's going on with MJF's hair, dude. It's going to come out someday.
Well, he went to Turkey, I think. And
He's
got a
wearing
little,
a toupee or
No,
something,
he went to
dude.
Turkey.
Dude, his hair is so nappy. It's incredible.
It's
Yeah.
thinning.
Yeah, it looks a little
thinning.
It's nappy.
Well.
It's just there's something about this hair.
Do you guys? How about the bump he took for the Tiger Driver? I mean, he took that right on his neck and head.
Yeah.
Dude,
That was
I
nasty.
ain't taking
There
that
ain't any
bump.
other way to take it.
Well, when Brian took it, when they did the Ospreay
he
Brian
could-
match,
he could
Brian
release
was
them.
protected.
He could
Brian,
release
Brian,
You
like,
gotta
slid.
fucking push your head. If you're giving it to him, you gotta push your ass out there and release him early
Yeah,
enough
you gotta
to get
let him
his
go.
head to get up. You know what I mean? So he's not landing on top of his head. Does that make sense
Yes,
to you?
it does. Yeah.
You gotta push your ass out to get him to land like that, or you could literally break his neck.
But he's apparently fine. But man, that is a nasty, nasty bump.
No, that was another. Oh,
Yeah, that was a nasty bump. And then after the match, Christopher Daniels gave the international title back to Will Ospreay.
I like that.
I like that too. It's a little nice little moment for the
Yeah,
fans
he
there.
refused the American title.
Yeah.
He wanted the international.
Oh wait, I fast forward through that because all I do is watch the matches. Chris Daniels, so they got rid of a belt.
No, so MJF won the international title and he
Right.
turned it into the American title. That's why he did the whole, he's been doing that whole American gimmick thing with
Right.
Apollo Creed. So when the ref went to hand Ospreay the American title, he didn't want it. And Chris Daniels said, here's the international title back.
Give me the
Ospreay
original
didn't want-
title.
The internet. Okay, all right.
so now
that
it's
makes
back to
sense.
being
Now
the
with
international
Ospreay,
title.
right?
Yeah, international, yeah.
Did they gonna pop?
Yeah, they got a pop. Yeah, and that was look, great match, and on a big show, you gave Will Ospreay a big moment in front of those fans. He's the guy you got to really just, if you're AEW, that's your guy. Will Ospreay.
He's the best on the planet right now.
Yeah. Up next on the show was Mercedes Moné and Britt Baker for the TBS title. Look, okay. I don't know why. Is this? Talk me through this, Hack. When you're working one of these shows, and there could be, you guys worked a lot of long shows in ECW. When you're out there, and it's probably the 4.5 hour mark or 4 hour mark of a show. Do you guys, when you're seeing the card put out, realize certain things might be the death spot? Because this match, I mean, like, it's
Oh yeah, in a big company, yes, but not ECW.
okay. So you're like a WWE. It's like, and I'm not saying bathroom break match or whatever, but like
It's called popcorn.
popcorn.
Yeah, popcorn
concession.
is the match before intermission. So you start off with like supposedly like a hot little match, you know what I'm saying? Then you go to a woman's match. Then you might even do the tag titles like Vince would do right before intermission.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That would be the popcorn spot. You know what I mean? Then the spot right after popcorn could be a shit spot also because you got the next and the next being a semi and a main event.
I mean, they've got put in a really hard spot right after MJF and Ospreay.
yeah.
Well, that's because they're idiots.
Well, if you
Well,
let
yeah,
me-
I'm not
fine.
saying, yeah.
Let me give you the card. Where would you have had this match on the card then if you were
Maybe
Sure.
right after the freaking the first match, after the ladder match.
So do you think
That's where Mariah May and,
Do you think
and
Mariah-
Tony were.
Put them in there.
Mariah and Tony in later in the
and
show?
the next one.
Do you think-
That's how I would do
Oh,
it.
roll both women's matches in a row.
No. I would switch them.
Flip them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
then let me ask you.
absolutely flip them.
Then let me ask you this, Hack. If Mariah and Tony were on in the show at this point, do you think they would have had the reactions and had that match that they had?
Yeah, because it's Tony.
Okay.
I think the people were more.
Tony.
Okay.
I think the
Interesting.
people were more invested in that story
Absolutely.
than Mercedes and Britt.
I would make the argument out of the show, it was probably the number 2 match that people were invested in.
Right, and I thought
Next
it
to
could
Brian
have.
and
Tony.
Swerve. Yes.
Tony Storm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And for me personally, I thought it could arguably be
The most.
best. Well, and the best match on the card.
Yeah, me too.
The
I
most
was-
invested with and the best match on the
I
card.
was most invested in the Brian Swerve match, but Tony was number 2 and not
Right.
far behind.
Right.
Seriously?
Yeah, the Tony match and Tony Mariah, like I
mean, dude, that story
turn,
is-
once that
Are
turn,
you
and-
saying as it was going or before?
no, I'm saying before, like going into the show, the matches I wanted to see the most.
Like, what were
Brian
you
is-
most invested in?
Brian and Swerve, like I knew Ospreay and MJF was going to be an awesome match, but I was so invested in the Mariah and Tony story. and
Oh no,
everything.
that's 1-2 to me.
Yeah.
The Ospreay match and then Tony Storm 1-2.
Ospreay first, Tony Storm 2? Okay. But this match, like, we were talking about it before the show a little bit, Ollie. For whatever reason, Mercedes in AEW so far, I don't know if she's had that, like, Mercedes performance that we're used to. And this match,
I told you guys this a month ago.
I know Britt's coming off the long layoff and everything. I don't know if she's had the right dance partners in AEW so far. This match didn't do it for me. I don't know. Ollie, what do you think?
It didn't do it for me either. I was disappointed. I just like the timing, and there was no flow to the match. You could tell the crowd wasn't behind it at all. Like, I don't know. Mercedes Monet's just been disappointing to me personally since.
Yeah, and I'm a huge fan of her work. I really am. And her and Bailey, they had
She's a baby face.
Well, she came in originally as a baby face.
She's a baby face, and then somehow they switched to freaking heel. I told you guys this freaking a month ago.
Doesn't
That
change.
doesn't have anything
change
to
her
do
work.
with,
Yes,
with
it
what
does.
she's doing in the ring.
Wow, yes it does.
You think her spots are better suited
Yes
for a
it
baby
does.
face?
She's not a heel. She's not a heel worker. She doesn't know how to work like a heel.
I think she is, man. She had that Bianca match at Mania, and it was, man.
All right, that was Bianca.
Well, no, I think Mercedes was the lead there.
I think Sasha, when she was in WWE, I thought she was the best women's worker in that company.
Yeah, she
Personally,
she was
I thought.
tremendous wrestler. And-
Well,
it
I
doesn't
don't know,
look the
but the
same.
heel thing's not working out, obviously.
She's been heel in WWE, and she was the best worker there.
yeah.
Okay. So, then tell me, there's always a big difference between WWE and AEW, right? Then maybe you got to switch it to freak up.
I think maybe-
I don't see her as that. Remember, you guys, I thought you guys were screwed up, but I was the one screwed up about the heel baby face with her. Because I was thinking they brought her in as the huge baby face and gave her all that money and then why would you turn her heel?
She
You guys
was
remember this like a month ago?
over, but she wasn't really a baby when she
Yeah,
first came
you
over.
got that
I
initial
know, but-
debut pop.
Yeah, like
then
she was
things like-
over, but she wasn't really a baby.
Yeah, but you keep her as a baby depending on who you work her against.
Yeah, but they were bringing Britt Baker back, who was definitely going to be a baby.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I remember this conversation before that we had.
Britt, to
yeah,
me,
you're right.
I'm sure Britt has a little bit of ring rust as well. She hasn't,
Yeah.
worked a ton. Look,
No, she's good.
Britt's really, both of these
They're
girls are
both
really
guys.
good.
Yeah.
That's why it's shocking as to why it didn't.
Britt's good. I've
Yeah.
only seen her a couple times. But I know
Oh,
the girl's good.
They're both good.
They're
The
both
match
really
just
good.
sucked.
This match was not there for me, and
Okay, remember I used to tell you guys Flair and Asuka. I never seen them have a good match. Two great workers, you know what I mean?
Yeah, sometimes it just hasn't
sometimes
hit.
just it could be oil
Sometimes
and
it just
water.
doesn't
I don't
I
know.
know, but to me, it's anything I've seen her, it doesn't matter who it's been. She's just been like completely lackluster.
Right, she worked Willow, also pretty good worker.
Who she's worked before, and I
Right.
wasn't impressed with the match at all.
All right, Ollie, could you compare it to an NBA star that makes a big contract and then has an off year because he just signed for $60 million? Could you attribute it to that? All the money that she just got made and she's not putting it in the work hard enough now?
No, I think she's working hard. I don't think it's that.
Do you think she's working hard, Ollie?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't think she's not working hard. Or
So what was the problem with the match the other night?
what do you mean?
The match between her and Britt. Who do you think was the problem?
I think they both were.
Yeah, I kind of with Ollie.
You think that too?
Yeah,
with Ollie.
I just don't think it meshed. See, when Mercedes was in WWE, she had a rapport and she had like a lot of things. Like those guys, like they've all worked together like multiple times. So like she's now coming into a new company and work with new people. But she's worked with Willow before. But still, like you're still trying to find your way, trying to find your niche. Like you said, she's a little bit a different character now. Stuff like that.
I like the bodyguard with her too.
Yeah,
I like
I
that.
totally agree because she's the boss.
Camille?
She's like,
Yeah.
yeah, she's got that whole thing.
I
I hate her finishing
loved-
move. I hate her finishing
It's just like
move.
any
yeah.
of the moves that she does. Like nothing's like hitting for me. Like it doesn't look like she's even hitting
I
anybody.
love the entrance.
Like it looks like nothing.
I love the
hurts.
entrance. Her coming out with the dogs and the little carriage.
that was
Who
great.
are the top 5 women in wrestling right now?
Oh man, I don't know
Anybody
off the
get
top
just
of my
off
head.
the top of your head? Who are your top 5?
Rhea Ripley,
Yeah,
Asuka,
yeah. Io Sky, Tony
Maybe
Storm.
not his. Ty.
Tony Storm.
Throw a name
Tony
out.
Storm.
Tony Storm.
Mariah May, is she there?
She's close. She's really close.
She's close.
You know what I mean?
She's really close.
Uh, Jamie Hayter.
How about the chick that's the MMA chick?
The chick.
You know what I mean?
Shayna Baszler?
Whatever. You know, I'm just So, but what you guys think? I asked for
Stephanie
5
Valkyria,
names
or
between 3
whatever.
is, and
Well, it's tough. You're making me go off the top of my head. That's
Yeah,
fine.
you're making me say
I'm-
the top
I'm
5
trying to
off
think.
the
I'm
top
trying
of
to.
my
it's
head.
not the I know, but just throw out a name here. Who else could even be in there? Is
Chris
Charlotte Flair in
Chris
there right
Statlander.
now?
Yeah, Charlotte.
Charlotte hasn't worked in a long time,
Right.
so I
Bayley.
kind of have a hard time putting her in there.
Bailey, Bianca.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
there's plenty.
Yeah, there's a lot. Dude, the women are just the women's wrestling is going to the moon, man. I mean, these girls are super talented. One of the things I didn't really care about the match is all the arguing and fighting over the glove stuff. I didn't need all that too. with
I
the
don't
whole
like how
different
she
things.
tried to do the
lockjaw.
lockjaw like 7 times,
Yeah.
and then
They did the Eddie Guerrero spot. That actually got the crowd back into it with the belt. Britt, that was pretty good work there. And then they were fighting over a backslide, but it wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't that crisp. And then-
Mercedes has to change her finishing move because
Oh,
she
yeah.
cannot hit it.
that finish is never hit clean. We were talking about that
Once.
We were talking about that with like the Code Breaker a couple weeks back. I don't know if it was on the show or not, but like there's certain moves like if you can't hit them
So who
clean.
else are you talking about wrestling to besides us about the Code Breaker?
What? No, I'm saying I don't know if it was
We were
on the
talking-
show.
Yeah, I think we were talking about
Who
it.
else? I'm talking wrestling.
You cheating on us?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're like jealous. You're like, wait, what? You're talking wrestling?
Like, what other show you doing?
No, but like, dude, and dude, she's tiny. So like, how many bigger
Spin her
women
around,
can
like, yeah.
How many bigger women can she actually do that to? Not to mention, even chicks her same size, she can't even pull it off on.
Yeah, this match just wasn't there for me. How long did this go to, Ali? Was this about like a 18? Kind of long.
Right on it.
Oh, there we
17
go.
minutes
There we
in.
go.
Didn't she do? Was it the finish, Joe Cargo's finish, or was that another match?
They look similar.
You know what I mean? When she goes over her head and or
That's a
whatever.
little different. You're thinking the move Swerve hit on Brian.
No, I'm thinking about when she's pinning somebody. They're doing
Yeah,
the
when-
same
oh,
yes,
thing.
yes, yes, the leg up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Overall, though, I got to give this like 2 stars.
I'm giving it 1.
Ty?
Yeah, 1.5.
Hack? 2. Up next on the show was Darby Allin taking on Jungle Boy Jack Perry in a coffin match. This was interesting, man. It was very, very quick, and it was hardcore. So, like, Darby came out with thumbtacks on his face.
That was
which-
different. That was cool.
That was cool. I've never
Yeah,
seen
it's
that
like
before.
you can't punch him in the face.
Yeah. You can't punch
I
him in
like
the face.
I like the
It's
thought
a good,
behind
it's
it.
a good counter by Darby. There. The crowd.
And
Or
it
do you
fits,
think
and
they
it just
were-
fits his character, like him to just do something
Yeah,
off the
insane
wall
shit.
and crazy
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, do you think they were held on by like Vaseline?
No,
I
it's
have
probably
no
glue.
idea.
It had to be
Okay,
like
I'm
that.
not super gluing fucking.
I understand
I'm not
that, but dude,
Elmer's
they-
gluing.
I don't
They
know if you
didn't
do
move.
half
They
the
didn't
things
move.
Darby Allin has done. I mean, the guy's like a lunatic. He's nuts.
Yeah, like they didn't move.
It looked
dude.
like Elmer's glue.
The crowd was singing "Oh Cry Me a River"
I
at
was
Jungle
wondering
Boy.
the same thing.
Then they pulled out some glass, just kind of playing off last year, I guess, with Jungle Boy and all
The
that
crowd
stuff.
popped huge for it.
The crowd did pop huge for the glass, and yeah.
I thought it was a good move for him breaking it out.
Oh, yeah,
I
no.
would have hit the line again.
Yeah, well, you should have. Why
Yeah,
not? I mean, if you're leaning into that as much as you are there, yeah, you might as well.
I loved him as Jungle Boy. I can't get with the scapegoat thing.
So-
and him is like this 4-foot badass.
This 4-foot raven.
This, him, yeah, dude. He kept hitting that pose. I was like, dude, is he like trying to put, like he pulled it like 4 different times, but like him, I can't get over him being this 4-foot badass. Like he was cool as a little baby, like Jungle Boy, like whatever. Got over like this. I understand why he like leaned into that whole thing because of the thing with him
He
CM
had
Punk,
to.
but
He had to do something different as the character.
yeah, he was going to top out at Jungle Boy, which
totally.
which I get, but I can't get with
Right, and
this.
I think to your point about him topping out as Jungle Boy.
Yeah, like the Tasmaniac. Same thing, you know.
Right, yeah,
Yeah, it's like you
exactly.
Can, right, you
You
can
have
only hit. It can only go so far.
And I think he did last year when they had the 4 Pillars match, if you remember that.
Yeah.
And that was like, that's it. As he's topped out as Jungle Boy. He has to become Jack Perry. And I think we're on the journey of that kind of with him.
Called the heel turn. Thank you.
The heel turn? Yeah. I mean, like, you have to.
Hack check that.
Yeah, I'll give him credit for that. But he probably
remember
did.
he said it.
Yeah. Give him credit. There you go. No, but like, I think like the look hasn't changed enough for me from the Jungle Boy, and it might be the hair. Like,
Like he's grown a beard, but it's like
I'm not believing you. I don't know. And I did kind of like on Twitter. Did you guys see on Twitter this past week? He had the video of him making.
I
the
saw that. Yeah, that was pretty cool. He actually has the skill to do
Dude,
that.
that was like kind of like us when Hack got the belt. We repainted and designed the whole belt, like repainted the ECW Heavyweight Championship. We actually went to the store, bought the jewels, put the jewels.
That was you and Kelly.
Yeah, me and my sister. Like we designed
so cool.
the ECW belt, like painted it the blue. The middle emblem where it's blue, black, round, ECW in red letters, and it's got like the gemstones around like the outside. Like me and my sister did that.
That's so cool.
It reminded me
awesome.
of that.
I
Like it was
that.
hilarious.
I enjoyed
I
it.
actually like the Jack Perry.
AC Moore. We got
Like,
the gems from AC
There
Moore.
you go. ECW title was created at AC Moore.
Yeah.
I like the lean in of like at first of like the scapegoat thing, but I think now he can kind of ditch that.
It's a year
and
later
do,
now.
Yeah, and
Right.
do like something. Still be a heel,
Right.
but
you got to get
just
past that.
Yeah, but
He's
get
a
past that
tiny
somehow.
dude. It's going to be very
That
hard for
does
him
not
to get
matter.
her out of the little Jungle Boy thing. And then she comes out
No, but
there
it's the
with
same
like
thing
a
as Hook,
Jason
Oliver.
mask
I
or
can't-
something like that.
He's trying to come off as like this badass, like
No,
whatever.
but they're
and
not okay. But they're out there putting Hook against Big Bill and having Hook suplex him 7 times. They're not doing that with Jack Perry.
Jack
No, he's
Perry
doing
just
more
buried
chicken.
Darby Allin, and Darby Allin's bigger than him.
Well, they're both
Not
small
big,
guys.
not super big, but I'm just saying, like he's
They're
like
both tiny.
Yeah, they're both small guys.
They're both tiny.
Yeah.
No, we gotta relax for a second. Relax. How can Jungle Boy? Well, then give me what you think how he could be a different character and get out of Jungle Boy.
He's already out of Jungle Boy.
I thought you said he can't get out of Jungle Boy.
You're saying get more away from the shadow of it.
Yeah.
you guys are on 2 different levels here. Yeah, you guys are on 2 different levels.
For the match, though, it was very short at this point in the show, which I think the show probably needed. How long did this match go, Oliver? What was this again? We were talking about this outside.
I don't know. You got a guess for me?
It went
7.5.
I'm gonna go. I'll go 8 minutes.
I would say 4.5.
10 minutes 37 seconds.
Okay, so it was very short, and they did big spot off the staging.
Did anybody notice the cushions taped underneath the table?
Well, you gotta have cushions nowadays, you know. It's gotta be
Dude,
safe
it was
landing
either
spots.
foam or it was cushions taped underneath the tables that Darby Allin
Yeah.
went to, and I was like, Jesus Christ, you can't even go through a table for.
Yeah.
They do the
It
same
was
thing in
pretty high.
WWE.
It was pretty high.
No,
up,
I know, but
That was probably, what would you say,
But
like
I
15
get
feet
what
up?
you're saying.
But
Yeah.
if you're gonna do that, dude, you got to make sure those cushions aren't shown. Dude.
Right.
It was like patio furniture cushions underneath the.
I didn't see it, so I didn't see it.
Yeah, I didn't
It's
notice
bad.
it either, but that's a good eye by you. Then he has his legs wrapped in the belt. He's taped up. He throws him off there, and then he puts him in the body bag, takes him over to the coffin, puts him in the coffin for the win. And then the Young Bucks come out afterwards. They're about to light the
I
coffin on
hate
fire.
this. I
And
hate
then
it.
out comes Sting with the Carlos Boozer. I saw that on Twitter with the spray paint black hair on there. It got a huge reaction for Sting coming out and everything. That was cool. I always love to see Sting. That's awesome. But overall, for a match, this was just kind of there.
It's cool for
two and a
Sting
half.
coming out.
2.5
I hate
stars.
that. I hate that we're even threatening that we might light somebody on fire because it's not going to happen.
It's not impossible with Darby.
Well, you could do some like Undertaker thing where he comes out of the coffin underneath it with some kind of trap door kind of thing or something.
No, I agree with Ollie.
Yeah, I don't like fire.
I'm just saying, we've seen Darby do
It's
some
ridiculous.
shit.
Nobody in the crowd really thought that was
Right.
getting lit on fire.
Fire is too much of an
Remember,
escalation.
they ain't kids in the crowd. They're adults in the crowd. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think anybody
They're
at
like,
home-
no, we're
I
not
think
going to
if you
see
saw
a
it at home,
flaming
you're
fucking
stupid.
coffin.
Fire is too
I
much
thought
of an
they might light it
escalation.
on fire.
Really? Okay. There we go. We got one.
I can't believe you actually thought
What do you-
that
No,
was
you
a chance
can't.
that was happening.
You can't light the coffin on fire
Oh, what?
and then have dudes run up
Right.
with
Well, yeah,
fire.
but what
No,
he's-
you can.
So
I'm
you're
just saying
stupid.
I'm just saying they're not
No,
doing
what
it.
he's really saying
When have they ever
is-
done it? When have
No.
they ever lit somebody on fire?
No, but Ollie, what you're
just saying,
saying
even
is
a
the
coffin.
ends of the means. You know what I mean? Yes.
It was
People
just- it was
could
a-
believe it, but it would be extinguished immediately.
It was
Yeah.
just to get Sting out there.
Yes,
but
it was just-
but I would believe that Darby Allin would say yes, light the thing on fire.
I think Darby would be
believe
fine with that.
Yeah,
I think Darby
believe
Allin would say yes to it too. I'm just saying it's not happening.
Right. What do you give it as a star rating, Holly?
Ooh, that's tough.
I went 2.5 on it just because, I don't know.
that. Half.
Half? Hack?
4.
Wow, he goes 4 with it. Okay.
It was it.
I'm going 3.
It was just it was nothing. It was speed. It was too. It was I don't know. It was
Yeah.
it was nothing.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe 2.
They didn't do anything. They did nothing.
Yeah, probably a 2.
Okay. Up next on the show was Swerve Strickland and Bryan Danielson for the AEW
I don't
World
like that it
title.
was before this match.
Really? You would have put it earlier in the show?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think with the Sting thing, though, it kind of brought the crowd up again, though, for this.
Or
Like,
maybe they wanted to dark out for the whole Sting
for the
thing.
Sting thing.
Maybe.
That makes sense.
Well, at least it was quick.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
like
true.
they didn't go like 20.
No,
Right.
it was not
Like,
overdone.
that's
They
true.
weren't
Yeah,
doing all the
right.
spots, you know. That's one thing I will say is, like, nothing felt, like, too long on the show, really. Bryan comes out for the main event, and he comes out to the final countdown, which I absolutely loved. Bree and his family were ringside. I saw a great tweet. Too Fast for Blood, who follows us, he tweeted that his kids should turn against Bryan like Tyler did. I thought that would be amazing. Could you imagine Bryan's daughter saying,
Ending his career.
"Well, no, you're no. How about if his daughter? How about if his
Daddy, you're a drug.
No, his daughter would say, "Daddy, you're a vegan. I'm with Christian."
Vegan Christian.
Well, no. Instead of going to Raven, goes to Christian or something like that. Heck, that was
Yeah,
okay.
I go to Nana.
That was a good joke. You just trampled all over, man. Oh my
Daddy,
god.
I want you home.
Boo
now.
is.
You're a vegan.
Boo is.
I was hoping Bree was going to get interjected into the match.
Yeah, she didn't do anything physical. I was kind of waiting for a slap across Swerve's face at some point, but
Something, because
yeah.
she can work, you
Oh,
know.
she- yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
I would have liked a little more family interaction
More?
within the match.
more.
I
Not
have
like-
exactly
not-
the opposite.
Not like them.
I
Like,
thought it was kind of
not like a struggle like for Bryan
spot.
to give is he gonna give up or something closer with the kids, something.
He was looking at him, and he looked at him. We'll
lot.
get to the match.
All right. So I think they did enough, but they didn't do enough good. Like, it wasn't good what they did. What they did, they spent the time, but they didn't get it over enough in the time.
You're saying the family interaction, not the match.
Exactly.
Okay. I was going to say, you didn't
I
like
think
this
it
match.
didn't get over. The time was there, but it never transpired really.
And I
So-
think,
Except
especially
one thing.
because Bree's a former worker, that, like his wife, Hack, I don't know if you know this, she's a former worker. She's
Oh,
a Bella,
right.
a Bella twin. If you know the Bellas.
Oh, was she out there?
She
Bree was ringside
at
with the
ringside
kids.
with the kids. That's Daniel
Yeah.
Bryan's wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
don't
why.
listen.
That's why I expected there to be
I'll
like a
watch, but
spot.
I'm not listening.
Yeah, that's why I expected there to be a spot with her, especially being a
Oh,
former
yeah,
worker. You know,
totally.
like something.
So,
Is she still under contract with?
no,
No, she's been retired
Yeah,
for a little while
yeah.
now.
So they were
Still be better than Nigel.
I don't know. I want to see Swerve holding Brian's bloody face right in front of the family
Yes.
at the guardrail.
Okay, so you
would've
went
liked that
to the
too.
another
Dude,
level.
wait a minute. What did I miss? What made him bleed that
I was
much?
just gonna get to that. So me and my buddy
What
Freeze
the
were
fuck?
watching
All
the
of a
show.
sudden he's bleeding. I'm like, why?
But
It
he
was
gave,
the ring bell.
he gave him a
The
Death
ring
Valley
bell.
driver, but it hit him on the back of the head. Why is
Yeah.
he coming up bleeding from
Right.
the
Yes.
Exactly.
He gigged in the wrong spot. He gigged in the wrong spot. They did that spot, and he landed on the back of his
Should've
head. But he
gigged
was
right
gigged-
here.
Yes.
But he was gigged. But he was
Because he
gigged.
has the shaved side's head too, to where you'll be able to see the blood. Because he has his hair tied up,
And I
so
was,
he could have
and I was
gigged right
waiting
over
to
there.
bring that up.
Or they
He
should have done a
gigged-
spot where he
gigged wrong.
actually, throw him into the steps or something, do something to come
Because
up
his
with
blood
color.
was weird. It was like a sideways blood. Not
Maybe-
like a fucking drip
Maybe he
down
did
like
gig
Dusty
on the side of the
Rhodes.
head. I don't know. Maybe he did gig.
No,
on the side
I
of the
think
head.
he might have popped his ear. I
What?
think he's got the cauliflower ear. I think he popped his ear and it bled across his face.
Ooh.
Is one thing that I thought happened.
I could kind of see that maybe.
Yeah, because
We'll
I
have to
saw
go
it
back and
running.
look.
I saw it running this way. Like
Yeah, that's
sideways
what I
on-
said. Sideways.
I think it might have popped the cauliflower ear and it
So
bled that way.
Swerve then, with him bleeding, he was going around in front of the family and doing a couple spots there, teasing him, and then Nana did a nice dance right in front of him, which was awesome.
Stupid.
Swerve gave him an angle slam off the top
Stupid.
rope, which I loved. Swerve went for the stomp, but then Brian put him into the Regal stretch, and he did a comeback, but then Swerve hit a flatliner. Brian came back with a bunch of yes kicks, and then he hit a giant tiger suplex, which that was a wild spot. I really love that. Then he throws him.
Dude, the crowd was
God,
like,
right there.
are you kidding?
With
I mean, there
everything.
must have been like 50 yeses, like
When they
in
got
the
to that
last like
point-
minute and a half.
When they got to the point, I said to my buddy Freeze, I said, the finish of this has got to be Swerve tapping. Swerve tapping has got to be the finish because that's what's really going to make the place blow, like out of anything else. And I'm glad that they did it. Because, what did you guys think about the no sell of Swerve when he gets to that?
What, the knee?
Oh yeah,
I was fine with it.
I love
I
it.
was fine with it because of where like it was hit on him. Like it didn't get fully up. Like it didn't even look like he got hit in the face. So it made sense for me that he was no selling.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it, and I think like even though he lost this match, we'll get to the finish here in a minute, but like little things like that can really protect the guy. I think like in losing, and that spot to me was a big spot. Like
I don't even think he needed protecting. I don't think he can losing to Bryan Danielson.
oh yeah, no, I don't think so either. But yeah, really,
No, it's
good.
horrible.
Horrible.
Yeah, I know you don't have this in your plans, but where's the belt going now? Who's booking this company? Who's the next champion?
Brian's going to put somebody over. If it's
Who?
Swerve again, I don't know. I don't.
Ollie, Ty?
Could be Swerve again.
It could be Swerve again. It could be.
Oh my God!
We'll
Then
have to
you
see.
make your company even look more like shit. Like you gave it to Bryan Danielson, and you made him think that it was his retirement match. So you all bought tickets for that. But we're going to put it on back on Swerve in 2 months.
No,
That'll piss off people. Make sense?
you can have Danielson.
I
win
don't
it
think
back
anybody
again.
left that show last night pissed off.
If Danielson loses it right back to Swerve, you don't think they'll
In
be
a couple
pissed
months,
off?
I'm saying. I don't know exactly when he's retiring. We've talked about it before on the show. I think October, Wrestle Dream, I believe the card is called out in Washington. In Tacoma, his hometown. I think that makes sense.
I think it
for
very
him
easily
wrapping up.
could have been an ode to Bryan Danielson to give him that belt before he actually retires.
Absolutely.
Are you serious?
This is Terry Funk and Barely Legal. I don't understand how you can't see this.
Serious? That was like bored into the contract?
No.
No, not
He's
into
saying
the,
it's
I'm
like a
just
tip
saying
to
like
the
they're
hat.
just giving like a tip to the
Yeah.
cap to him, giving him another notch on his belt as an AEW. I mean, he could probably say he's been the champ of how many different
Yes.
federations or whatever like that.
What do you
before
think?
he goes out?
I'm
not saying that's.
fine
I'm
with
not
it.
saying that's what's happening.
called
but I can
Danielson
easily
winning.
see
So
that.
did I.
Are you
liked it.
fine with it if they change it in 6 weeks? I know you're going to say depending on who. You
I'm
know what
fine
I
with
mean?
it. They
I'd be fine
change
with
it
it.
Wednesday.
I would be fine with it.
Because you're happy with the ode to Bryan Danielson part
How
of
do
it?
you? How do you
I can respect respect that.
Heck, how do
I
you
know, but I can't respect that as to the point of how smart the fans are right now.
The fans are not going to care.
Heck,
So you don't
how
think
do you-
we're smart fans?
I gotta ask you again, Hank.
No, but you're on the inside of it. You're not on the outside
All
of
right,
it.
Hank.
That's true.
Barely Legal, your first pay-per-view. You do the feel good with Terry Funk winning the belt. How do you not see that it's the same thing here?
Okay, I had no idea what I was doing then.
And you clearly still don't.
I was an idiot. Dude, that was like 30 years ago.
And nothing symbols. And nothing's changed.
Yep.
Nothing's changed.
Hey, just gotta be me.
All right, I love this match. So Brian then, man, he would not stop. He would kick out, kick out, kick out. Then they go for another strike battle. Swerve would not quit either. Brian then snaps his fingers. Hack, you called this out. Done a couple times on the show.
Well, and it was because they did a good job of Swerve using the grip, the hand grip, to get out of it the first time. And then
that's
they
true.
went back to the well, and Bryan
Danielson's
said,
known
"Not
for
this
doing
time."
this move
Right.
as well. So
He
he
said
also
Swerve
called it
not
out,
this time.
actually.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
did.
you're right.
So they did a good job of emphasizing the fact that he got
and
used,
protecting the move.
right.
Yeah, you
used the
protect
hand
the
grip to
move.
get out of it, and then Bryan said, "Nope, not this time."
Boom, got you in it, and then Swerve taps. The place just goes nuts.
Dude, but it was a nice tap though. Like the last like, even though I didn't like Swerve losing, and I hate that whole premise, but because he's only had the belt for a couple months to me. But the last minute was really nice, and it was a strong finish on Daniel. You know what I'm saying? Like having Swerve's ass locked the frick up,
Yes.
and he ain't moving, and you ain't getting out.
Well, he had him originally, and then that's when he
Yeah.
put the arm behind his head, and it was like that.
Yeah, that was strong. Yeah, when he flipped it over a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's strong. You know what I mean? And Swerve has no problem. A lot of guys don't like tapping. You know what I mean? I can't imagine Hogan ever tapping to anybody ever.
He tapped to Kurt Angle.
After all of it, though.
In 02.
Before or after
In
he
02.
passed.
Oh, God. It popped me, Ty. That was good, man.
I hated the family stuff, though.
Why?
Only because it wasn't done good.
What
It
was
just
hear you.
wasn't.
I hear you.
could've
I
done
think it could have been
It
better.
could've
I
been
wanted the
done
locker
better.
room to empty.
Danielson's got that blood on his face, and it seemed like he kept getting worse, but nobody ever touched it. You gotta get Danielson right up on the freaking edge of that freaking
That's what I'm saying.
of the hockey boards. You know what I mean? To put it right there, it'd be like fucking like laying it in on the back of his neck, like with a forearm. But it sounds good right there. But you can lay it in on the back, and
I know, and we're coming from an
it ain't gonna
ECW
hurt me.
mindset, but that's not the. I wish they would have done that.
He
but-
would have turned up the family angle a little bit.
Well, yeah, and
Yeah.
then it makes it him winning at the end that much more because of that emotion that was displayed.
To me,
I
though,
know the family's like grimacing more. All the kids are like, "Oh my god!" You know, grandmom's praying over there and stuff like that. Vince would. There's no way that Vince WWE would have done that much better. Agreed. Everybody.
this match to me was.
no.
I'll give him my star rating for
No,
this match.
just that part
Oh,
of the
just
match.
that part of the
Family
I
thing,
would say
not the
no.
whole thing.
I would say no because we've seen it recently with like Sami Zayn and his wife front row when he had the match
But-
with Roman.
We've
and
also
it was
seen-
kind of like
But The Rock had Cody with Mama Rose.
That's
bleeding.
true too.
And we
So-
also saw WWE back in '99 with Mick Foley and his family in The Rock with the chair shots, if you remember
Yeah.
that. What a
Oh,
rumble
yeah.
they
those
had.
brutal chair shots.
Brutal, right
yeah,
in
and I
front
mean,
of his
and that's
family.
'99, so like that's kind of. I mean, people were really
Yeah.
pushing the envelope. There.
But the Cody Mama Rose thing, Rock had him.
Yeah,
in there,
I mean,
so.
No young children, though, right there. It's a little different
True.
with the young children.
And then-
maybe,
Good point.
You know?
And it's just bringing that much more little realism, like back
yes.
into wrestling.
I think
you know?
we all
Like,
agree that it wasn't bad. It was just we wish there was a little more.
Yeah,
Well-
I agree.
For the match itself, though, I think that it was an absolute all-time classic. I'm giving the full 5 for this match.
I'll give it a 5.
Yeah,
Ollie?
I'm going 5.
Hack,
Dude, I mean, me and Oliver were doing the yes. Literally, dude, I was super invested, and when you got me super invested like that,
That's a 5.
I can't argue that.
I can't give it a 5.
Wow.
Just because I think they could have done the family stuff. They spent let's say 90 seconds on it, and it could have been 10 times better.
So what do you give it though? Star 4 to
4.75.
So you have 4 3/4. It was right there for you, but you just couldn't go.
Yeah, just because it had a little bit.
Man, you and Dave Meltzer sometimes with these 4
I know, but if
3/4.
you're going to put the family over, put them the frick over more.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If you're going to spend 90 seconds on them, fucking get them over.
Look, he celebrated with his family. It was a beautiful moment, and
His son chasing the confetti was hilarious.
Oh, it was awesome. It was so cool.
Claudio and Wheeler,
And Pac.
Wheeler Yuta came out.
Pac too, even though he's not in the combat club.
Yeah, well,
but,
he's part of the fam now.
Yeah, sure. You got a belt with us. You're part of the family. Yeah.
Uncle Pac.
Yeah, Uncle Pac. I love the show. AEW All In. Really, really awesome show.
How about for a whole show? Let's give it a number.
I love it. I mean, I don't know. To me, that's like a perfect show. It was
What? That's a 5?
yeah, it's a 5 show.
Oh, wow, you are easy, dude.
I'm not. I love, dude. Look how many matches
Dude,
we gave 4
I'm going.
stars or 3 stars.
If we're going out of 5 stars,
Maybe I'll go 4.5 then. If we're
I'm
going
giving it.
4 stars.
I'm giving it a
off already.
3.5 show.
Nah, it's.
I'm
better
with you,
than that.
Ollie. I would say 3.5, just because I hated the Darby Allin.
There was too much that was too good, and too much that was like there was not enough in between.
I hated Darby Allin and Jungle Scapegoat, and I hated Hook and Jericho, and I thought Mercedes and what's her name was lackluster. So I would go 3.5. I feel like they've had top to bottom a better
pay-per-views. Yeah. For me, Bryan Danielson is like.
I mean, I had 2 5-star matches in there for me. So if,
that's
what I like.
That's an amazing show.
Wow,
That's an amazing show.
The top was good.
But I also had 3 matches under a 1. So for me personally,
So that, and I'm kind of the same. So I'm meeting in the middle.
yeah, that's why I got the guy go 3.5.
For me, going to like old Ring of Honor shows in the early 2000s and seeing Bryan Danielson wrestle in front of like 450 people, 350 people, and then to see what he's done with his career in this time since, man, it's been amazing. He is on such a run in AEW this year. The matches he's had, and just to watch him win the belt like that in Wembley,
It's well deserved.
it was so well deserved. He's an all-time great of wrestling.
Hey, just real quick. Suppose that it wasn't at Wembley. Would he be the champion right now? Suppose that was in LA, California.
Yeah, I would say so.
Would
I
he
think
still be the champ?
I would say so.
I think so.
I don't think the venue mattered.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Well, it's a big card. You want to give do you want to make the fans leave home happy? Maybe if Bryan couldn't have wrestled on the show, they probably would have had Ospreay and MJF in the main event. Like I know when we were talking about this show weeks back and months back, we were like, oh yeah, Ospreay's going to be in the main event. Like it's just where our minds kind of
Or it
went
could have
to.
been Ospreay Swerve.
Yeah, he could have done that. I mean, you could have went in a lot of different directions, but I love the show.
I think having Danielson on the card as part of like the match was probably part of the reason, because it was like at Wembley, because everybody can relate to Bryan Danielson or whatever like that. But I don't think putting him over what like the venue had anything to do with the fact that he went over.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like,
no, be interested to see what he does with the title run here. Certainly, I'm going to be watching a lot of AEW next to see what happens. Up next on the show, next week, we are reviewing Terry Funk's WrestleFest, 50 Years of Funk. Hack, this was a very special card that you were on in Texas from 1997.
He personally invited me to it.
He personally invited you to Terry Funk's WrestleFest.
His hometown.
It happened on September 11th.
This is the ones in Amarillo, right?
Yes, this is 1997. It was his retirement match.
I got a couple good stories.
I can't wait to cover this show next week. He wrestled Bret Hart in the main event. It was a show put on by ECW, WWF, and FMW. So it was a little combination show. We're reviewing that one next week on the show. Can't wait to talk about that and get some stories from Amarillo back in the day.
that'll be interesting for sure.
Yeah, fun show. Guys, we definitely want you to go on our social media, vote for who had the best draft. We've been getting a lot of feedback from our draft show. I can't wait to see who's going to win the results here. I know Hack's been salty about the...
I'm over it.
Oh, you're over it now. You're finally past that point. Okay. Well, you were very upset.
He got word.
I'm done.
He got word
I
that he
figured
didn't
out
get one
Ty
vote.
just cheated, and I'm just going to have to live it.
Okay. Well,
I was trying to put a poll up on Twitter, but there's only 4 choices.
I know.
gotta figure out a way.
So we're going to put up a link for you guys so you guys can vote on a separate link aside from Twitter, because Instagram and Twitter, they only have a max of 4 choices, and we want you to include the Suplex guys there too, because they drafted a pretty good team. But definitely make sure to go on there and vote for us and give us your feedback as well. As always, too, we want you guys to review the show. Leave us a review on the show. Let us know how we are doing.
Good
we
and
hear
bad.
from you. Yeah, rip Hack, rip me, rip Ollie.
Whatever, suggestions on the show, what you guys want to hear, anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like get rid of those 3 and I just do it by myself.
Sure,
That
I'm sure
would be
that would be great.
interesting.
Yeah, we would all love to hear that. Let's get the Hack
The whole
solo
show would be a hack chat.
Come to Hacks TED Talk.
Yeah, come to Hacks TED Talk. God,
Yeah.
I cannot.
The Billiards
sure.
Brawler
Good
TED
luck.
Talk.
Good luck turning it on. First of all, to any of the.
I mean, get my rabbit ears up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. As always, send in listener questions to sandmanpod@gmail.com. Up first, Johnny from San
Johnny.
Antonio.
All right.
I see
Is that the same?
Yes,
San
it is.
Antonio,
Okay,
Johnny?
here we
All
go.
right.
Here we go. What's up, boys? First of all, why did Mattress Mac catch a stray off my question last week? I think I said fuck Mattress Mac when he said he was an Astros fan, because do you know who Mattress Mac is?
He's that old dude who
the dude that
does
made
all the bets.
money?
Yeah.
He makes all the
He's
like,
actually-
sports bets.
He's actually a huge wrestling fan, and he helped do a lot of advertisements for.
Doesn't he still do it now?
Yes, he did one with Booker T's wrestling company not too long ago.
Oh, I didn't even know that. All right.
Back in the 80s, he was a big sponsor for Mid-South Wrestling and Bill Watts, too. So this Mattress Mac guy's got a wrestling tie-in. I had to make sure I brought it up on the
Yeah,
show.
we're currently watching the Phillies and Astros right now, so you guys about to go down.
Yeah, Mattress Mac.
Okay, here we go.
Come and please support Hack.
Yeah, Mattress Mac, Mattress Hack.
Yeah,
There you
Mattress
go.
Hack.
Yeah, Mattress Hack. My question for Senior Hack this week is, while it's been well documented, ECW was known for its athletes who may have a slight problem with controlled substances, and Todd the God has gone on record stating that you needed a positive drug test to secure a job. Out of all the talent in ECW who experimented with illicit substances, does Hack have any memories of a certain talent taking their usage too far around the boys, and who couldn't handle their intake, paranoia, sloppiness, etc.? Ollie's pointing to Hack.
It is me. Dude, when you're that dude, you ain't recognizing any other dude. I'm abusing shit, man.
It's this guy,
Yeah.
Johnny.
I'm that guy.
Yeah,
dude.
when you're naked, jump roping with a cowbell in Pensacola, I think you got it pretty bad.
Yeah, that's you. Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
a
that
dude
was
playing
it.
a dude disguised as another dude.
He said, love the show, love the banter, even if I'm always catching strays because of my teams. Sincerely a fan of San Antonio, who has only
Yeah,
won.
fuck you and your trash cans.
Oh, wow. There you go, Hack. Get him, Hack.
Seriously, dude.
Get him, Hack.
Seriously. I think that cost us that series.
Yeah, it probably did.
Thanks, Johnny. Keep writing in.
Oh, and what's his name? No, who was the Altuve who was killing us?
Well, and Tucker, everybody killed us in that series.
Yeah, I know, but Altuve
And their
was
pitching. Their pitching was amazing.
Yeah, we got
So-
no hit in the World
Yeah, it
Series.
was-
Besides McCullers.
Oh, you're right, we did.
I was there. Yeah. Okay. Up next is Doug from Orangeburg, South Carolina. To my sandblasters, keep up the good work. The shows are great. Hack, were you in the house the night of the mass transit incident? If you were, what did you think of the whole thing?
Yeah, dude, I was there. I was freaking. New Jack showed me the blade that he was going to cut the kid with before, and he was showing he was walking around the locker room showing everybody. He's like, yeah, I'm going to cut this kid. I'm going to cut this kid. And he cut the kid.
And it was all over. The dude was like trying to basically tell New Jack like he wanted to get his shit in, and Jack's like,
Yeah, well, yeah. It's, dude.
And he's some green as hell,
He's
like,
never
how
had
do
him.
you
Yeah,
Right.
You're as green as grass going in and be like, well, actually, I've been big time to buy somebody kind of like this too, but
That sliced you with a blade? nearly after that?
no, big time.
or like trying to come in and
and
do
say, hey,
spots.
can I get a spot in at all? You know
Right.
what I mean? But yeah, the kid was acting stupid, and Jack is Jack, and Jack's like, I'm gonna cut this kid.
Okay, that's the match
And it
tricks.
was bad.
Yeah, he said thanks.
We all know it.
Thanks, guys. Good shit as usual every week. Oh, thank you, Doug. Definitely send us in questions again.
Yep.
Up next is Uncle Howard.
Howard.
Howie!
What's up inside the Hactor studio? That was,
All right,
that was his line.
Like
this week.
that. Howard.
We're throwing stuff around.
He's throwing, yeah, you're trying stuff.
We do a lot of improv here.
I like it.
I like that.
I like it, though.
Hactor
I
Studio.
like it, Uncle Howard. How come you're allowed to serve as your own attorney, but you can't serve as your own doctor? I know what I need better than some egghead.
Okay, first of all, you can be your own doctor. That doesn't mean you're going to stay alive. You're like, yeah, you're your own doctor, yeah. Well, go out to the jungle and eat some shit, dude, and try and beat your cancer.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not
Nobody says you
impossible.
can't be your own doctor.
There you go, Uncle Howard. There's your that's your hacks advice of the week there. Up next is Mike from New Haven, Connecticut.
All right, Mike.
Hey, Sandman.
No, I ain't New Haven.
I'll spare you the praise to start the email. You know you're killing it. Weekly listener here. Keep it up. Well, you didn't spare the praise. You actually gave us it, so thank you. A couple quick questions for Hack. First question. Joey Styles doesn't get put over on the show as much as he deserves. Love to hear some Joey stories, good or bad. Make with the Joey talk. I love Joey Styles. I actually asked Hack last week after the show. I said, Hack, has anybody heard from Joey in a while? Does anybody hear from him? Do you know of anything what Joey's up to? And Hack, he said,
No, dude. No, he's like freaking persona non grata.
yeah. So
I don't know. You people don't understand that, but yeah, Joey like has a whole other life. You know what I mean? Like when the wrestling stopped, He's done. He's gone. I went through the same thing from like 2000 when I got fired in 2008. I was home with raising CJ for a decade.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So but he was good.
I mean, and we've all given Joey his flowers. There's just not really much other to say. I think he's arguably the best.
The greatest ever.
I love Joey.
Single guy ever.
Yeah.
Nobody
Oh,
does
yeah,
it
100%.
Solo.
No.
Out
Yeah.
there
Right.
all by yourself.
Just
Trying
Nobody
to-
was doing it
And-
before him, and nobody's done it since.
Yeah.
And live.
Yeah. Right.
Like,
Good point, Ty.
No, it's amazing
Great
that
point.
he did that. And Joey Styles was like, man, I just...
And
I
he
think
didn't-
after the whole thing, because I just recently saw the clip of him like quitting
Yeah.
WWE or whatever. I mean, I don't know if that was like real or like.
it was worth shooting.
They didn't want him. You got to understand the guys that are your announcers then. It's a very small position on this planet. You know what I mean? You probably had JBL then and
Cole.
Jerry Lawler.
J.R. Cole.
I mean, but you could really tell
you know what
like,
I'm
by what he
saying?
was saying, though. He definitely meant
Oh, that was real.
100%
Like,
what he was
everything
saying.
he said, yeah.
So I think, I mean, he might just be as fed up and just doesn't want to be anything around.
Yeah.
wrestling.
No, because he knows he's great, but your ceiling is nothing because somebody's got to die for you to get a job.
I
Yeah,
mean, I'm surprised
Literally.
Tony Khan hasn't sent a Brinks truck to his house.
Well, one of the coolest
Literally.
things...
You know what? Literally.
One of the coolest things about AEW is it's kind of given a whole different audience the chance
That's a good point, Alan.
the chance to respect and admire the work of Tony Schiavone, because Tony Schiavone got a bad rap, kind of like the last days of WCW. If Joey Styles kind of got a second run like this,
Yo,
it'd be pretty cool.
all right.
I mean,
speaking of which, they need to
Sure.
turn Excalibur's mic off when they got all those announcers in there.
Tony Schiavone was like that intermediate announcer between like the 1970s, early 80s. Tony Schiavone was like that, the guy like, let's equate it to the music that's happening out in Washington and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like Nirvana, the grunge and shit like that, and all the X stuff. Tony would like happen to be in there, but he's like nowhere near like Joey's class. Like nowhere near.
I love Tony Schiavone. I don't want to get
Nowhere
into
near
comparing him.
Joey's class.
Joey's different because he's a virtuoso. He's by himself. Like, you know what I mean? It's just I love both announcers.
Tony
I'm not gonna-
Schiavone did a lot by himself, and but Bobby the Brain would just like, wasn't him? Did him and Bobby work together?
They did, yeah.
Yeah, Bobby would just throw in his hilarious comment.
My favorite
every
duo
couple
with
minutes.
Schiavone was Schiavone and Jesse Ventura in WCW. Those
I
are
don't remember that one.
Those were my favorite. And I don't know. I hope Joey Styles is doing well. I wish him nothing but the
Yep.
best. And
we love it, Joey.
We love his work. So if we don't put him over on the show enough, we'll try to take note of that.
Would have
but,
loved for him to get his flowers WrestleMania weekend, somewhere, somehow, but...
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree. And then writing in is Ed in Shinston, West Virginia.
Shinston, West Virginia, dude.
Yeah.
Are you married to a relative?
Whoa. Shots fired on Ed here, man.
West Virginia money line versus Penn State.
Wow, you're calling out
Oh, dude, West Virginia's going to be good this year, aren't they?
West Virginia money line over Penn State.
No, I was just kidding. Right? But honestly, dude, I've been to some towns in West Virginia where everybody's got a round head, and that just means a lot of interbreeding. Just saying.
Okay, here we go.
And that's a straight shoot. I know Tasha's cringing over there. Hack, you can't say that.
I'm not cringing. You're just ripping our listeners.
Smoke a cigarette out back after this, so we give me shit
No, you're
about
just
it.
ripping our listeners here. This guy,
I'm not
this guy's
ripping
inbred
it, dude. I was making a joke, but I was telling him every little joke, there's a little bit of kernel of truth to every joke. That's exactly the point that I was making.
Ed, you're going to have to send us in your ancestry so we can trace down your lineage next time you write us.
Dude, no, but honestly, I have it in my genes. And I've learned that through 23andMe, dude. So I'm not making a joke about you. I'm making a joke about myself also. Dude, I have interbreeding. I'm from Blowing Rock. Dude, South Carolina. There is
not to be mixed with blowing cock.
No, but Tosh, I'm not making fun of him.
No,
Dude, I'm in the same boat as you are.
I see it. Your head is kind of round.
He writes in, you guys are on fire lately. The draft was a really cool idea that worked. To give him more of an ego, my pick for best draft goes to Tyler, hands down.
Oh my god!
Horrible. I say, I told you.
Hank, yeah, this guy's definitely in.
We've got a very big database right here,
We do.
so Tyler's is 1,000% right now.
Hang the banner with that cluster of a roster he picked, and it would definitely put the butts in the seats. Toot that horn, Tyler. Well done. I mean, did you pay this guy?
What put any ECW fans in the seats?
No, I mean, it's just clear.
Inbred Ed, that's your nickname now on the show.
All right.
How about that, Inbred Ed?
All it took was one vote for my team, and
Inbred
Tosh
Ed. Also, in my opinion, Dreamer went really late in the draft. I'm bigger on Dreamer than most. Huge Dreamer fan, and he's Mr. ECW. Okay, I agree with you.
it all depends.
Yeah, why do you think I took him where I did?
Yeah.
I'm the icon. No, you had me and him?
Yeah,
Oh, dude, how did you not win?
Yeah, well,
because people are stupid.
keep the show rocking. Great work, fellas. That was his. He didn't
Because
have a
you
question.
both have a winning percentage of 0.4.
Thank you. Thank you, Ed. Sorry for the shots on you, man. As always, Kevin from Dayton, Ohio writes in, Hack, with AEW being in London, any good stories of partying or working over in England? I've heard it's quite a crazy time over there, and I was curious if you ever had any memories working in the UK.
Hack hates it over there.
Hack?
No, I'm just kidding.
No, dude, I don't like it over there because it's different. I don't know, it's just everything's different, you know what I mean? Like the money's different, the freaking, I mean, it's cool like the first couple times you're there, like the first couple times you're in Japan, you know what I mean? That's cool, but otherwise it's an inconvenience. I'd rather be wrestling in Arkansas, like 1,500 miles from my house than 4,000 miles from my house.
Okay. So
You know what I mean?
Isn't everything like smaller over there too?
Way smaller.
Yeah.
The whole world is so much smaller.
But
Because it's old.
did you ever get an English breakfast?
Huh?
English breakfast?
Oh, that's the greatest thing ever. Well, any hotel I've ever been in all of
Yes,
Europe,
because they serve beans with breakfast.
their breakfast is the greatest thing ever. I mean, it's like a huge extravaganza. It's like the greatest thing. There's all kinds of fresh fruit and yogurt. You have your waffle station. You have your guy making your omelet station.
Oh, I was expecting that to be a sexual innuendo. A British breakfast? I don't know. Like the Cincinnati bow tie.
It's a British breakfast. It's a known thing.
I don't know. It's so great. We're coming to breakfast. Yeah.
All right, guys, as always, like, share, review. Catch us next week for Terry Funk's WrestleFest. We'll be back then. Take care.
Tosh.
Oh, man.
It is so
I actually botched it this week. That was a genuine botch. That's a botch spot. Let's take off the star. We can do the magic of editing. Hold on. Abracadabra. I did fuck up. I actually did.
You fucked up. You fucked
I
up.
actually did
You
fuck
fuck.
up.
You did.
I did.
You
I actually.
loser.
Well, usually I do a fake botch and then I go back to it.
No, early. Early.
No, I missed it one time for real. We were doing some of our
You are
practices.
so horrible.
As always, the Kate of the week and the toast of the week.
I don't have one. No, just kidding.
After all
Well,
that,
you can
I'm gonna give it to you.
you can change it and now give your cane of the week to Tosh.
No, I can't do it because it's even worse than what he just did.
Okay.
Just the whole booking throughout the show of AEW to me is what the fuck is going on.
I thought the booking on the show was good.
It's not when everybody's doing a finger spot. They're doing these turns, but they don't want to turn. Dude, it's just horrible.
Okay. And
Toast?
Toast?
Florida. Florida Little League.
Florida Little League. Okay. All right, guys. Catch us next week for real, with Terry Funk's WrestleFest 1997.
Peace.
Ain't it foggy outside? All the planes